Shall I start? Audible? Is it audible? Audible, huh? Sure. Start. So you can put in your doubts as comments also. Also, we'll check that and we'll start. Okay, we'll start for today. In a sense, so I'll start with good things first, actually, because anyone see suggestion of book. So I really like people who read books. So this is a book which you can which you can actually read. Humankind, a hopeful history. So see, we keep thinking that humans are one of the worst kinds of people that ever existed. People have reinforced this concept of that is also in a way true, because I think last class also I have discussed this. We live in an urban society where we cannot know everybody, their faces, what they are, how they are, what is their mood. We cannot make out that fact. If it is a closed band, we can make out the fact that yes, today this person or this person behaves in this way. That is why this point came up. That is why this point came up in society that see, you should be very cautious. Humans are very hard. It's called as availability bias. See, we humans have so many bias. Availability bias means, see, I look at something happens to me. In management, this is a very important topic as well, in psychology also, because today's discussion will also go into these toppers myth also. So today I'm going to talk about in detail about that. In a sense, this book only gave me this idea that humans are good and stuff like that. What I wanted to say was, so availability bias, if you see, we look at something, we imagine that this is true. Our scope is very, very limited. We should understand that. You get this idea. You should see 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years also, people are very narrow. Why? Because their scope is very, very narrow. And as humans, our scope can be very narrow only. But this world is very large, So reading all these books actually gave me this idea that yes, humans are really nice. Maybe somebody would have been bad to me. That doesn't make everyone bad, right? So that is why this concept, I understood the fact that when people said, don't say, see, current affairs, or I keep repeating this. This won't be an important thing for UPSC students. You don't understand UPSC students and stuff like that. When they said, no, I said, yes, no, people will understand. What is necessary for this examination? If I say, they will understand. And these books are only the reason. One example I'll tell you. Okay, one example, I think in Kafka or some class, I gave this example. I'll tell two scenarios. You tell me which is the original scenario and which is the scenario I'm making up. Seriya? Or no, I did not say this example. I said a different example. I'll tell you, this is a famous case. I think it was in USA. This case created this concept of humans are not trustable. One case I'll tell you. So you tell me which I am making up. Okay, which scenario? A scenario I am making up or B scenario I am making up. Okay, so let us assume that there is one girl is there. This is a real incident which happened in New York. There is a girl. She was mugged. Mugging, or stealing. Mugging means stealing. So in New York, what happened was, during the mugging, she stopped that person. Maybe I forgot the name of that person, but I'm generally telling you. So during that mugging, she stopped, and what happened was, the scenario A. Okay, scenario A is, during that mugging, that person started to use a knife and stab that person. So immediately all the person who were in the neighborhood came and helped her. But obviously the stabbing was so large that the bleeding was high, so she could not survive. This is scenario A. So scenario B is, so again, the same girl goes and there was a stabbing. But everyone was like, no, afraid of this person who stabbed, and they stayed away. So she was bleeding in the street, and only later that everyone found. Which is the scenario I am making up? Okay. How many how many of you think that A happened? Okay. Both are? Either one is imaginary, one is the real scenario. B is real, which is everyone were afraid of the person who stabbed, and they did not come to help that person, and that person bled away. And this is the scenario which was reported in the newspaper. Okay, wow. But this person has investigated that important case which changed the, that is how New York, from New York, they took this, what is that concept called as? They had this concept of, higher policing. The concept city is not safe. You have to police them much. This concept came from that case only. But the point, what he says is that they were afraid, but everyone came, they called, everyone tried to help, but the stabbing was so great that the girl died. But these things were neglected in the paper as, frivolous information. This is what actually sold. This is a 1970 or 80 case, I'm saying. But this is how people are. In reality, if you see, definitely people will come. In the case of Nirbhaya also, see, they said that they were bleeding in the streets, but many came to help. You get this idea? See, in the sense that this book is what changed that fact. So you can have this book and many essays you can quote from this. But starting from today, in a sense, that is why I have to tell the truth, and I'm going to talk the truth. Shall we talk the truth? So today it will be about, what and all you have to do next. And this one more reason for talking the truth is that my senior, actually 2 year senior, school senior, not very close, but he was a very important friend to me. Actually, yesterday he passed away. He passed away. I'm not able to take that out of my mind. So I'm going to talk with that. So another konja dark argo, correct? See, and that is how I understood the fact that 3 things, please take care of yourself. Even if, see, others solran, IAS, if you get or not, I don't care about that. Seriously solran. First point, take care of your relationship. Okay, first point, always solran, always friends, family, and whoever you like, that is the most important part of this whole life. See, don't sacrifice that for IAS. திருப்பியும் சொல்றேன், அப்படியே IAS அப்படியே நேர் கோட்லயே போனீங்கன்னா அப்படியே முட்டை சந்து வந்துரும். No, that's a myth. That's a very big myth that only you can clear. And see, these stories will come up, I did not even go to Pongal. I did not even go to Diwali. I did not go to even my friends. See, these are something like scenario B. They are taking out many of the things which they are not saying. If a topper stock, see, I am not saying they deliberately do. I am saying they are removing many of the things. But in the sense that, okay, I'll tell the name of the book. Balaji, I think, will coach mata. Okay, Balaji used to, read like anything, like a mad person. But he always had a relationship. Other than he had married, always. ஆனா படிக்கிறது வச்சுப்பாங்க, டைம் வச்சுப்பாங்க. காலையில நான் பார்ப்பேன், என் கூட தான் படிச்சுட்டு இருப்பான், திடீர்னு வந்து உள்ள போவான், திருப்பி வந்து படிச்சுட்டு இருப்பான். என்ன இந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டி சரியில்லையே. See, in the sense that he did not let that interfere in his work. You should understand that. Both of them had an agreement. அந்த மாதிரி தான். You should also think about, see, அதுக்குன்னு அதான் I am again repeating. It's not only personal life. Friends, family, talking to family, it's very, very important. Without that, என்னங்க பண்ணுவீங்க? எனக்கு புரியல. You get this idea? So these things actually help clear this examination. One more example also I'll tell you. ஜோகிந்தர்னு ஒரு அதான் ஐயோ இதை நம்ம வந்து யூடியூப்ல வர போட போறோம், பார்த்துதானா திட்டுவானுங்களே. Anyways, see, Joginder was there. He got IRS after marrying. Okay, va? IRS ஆகிட்டு IAS ஆகிட்டு தான் நான் வந்து எல்லாம் செய்வேன் அப்படின்னு தான் அவனும் இருந்தான். பட் த அதுக்குன்னு நான் யாரையும் கல்யாணம் அப்படி அது ஐ எம் நாட் அந்த இதுல நான் சொல்லல. ஐ எம் சேயிங் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், ஃபேமிலி அண்ட் whoever it may be. See, having a friend for coffee, talking to them is very, very important. எனக்கு இப்ப பேட்மிண்டன் விளையாடணும்னு ரொம்ப ஆசையா இருக்கு. See, if people are there for badminton na, it's a very important thing that you do. Cycling, you're cycling, அது ஆக்சுவலா நல்லது தான். Okay, you get this idea. You should start developing that today. Exam is there. See, exam will definitely clear. This 1 hour, 1.5 hours will not waste your time. You should understand that. So see, first point on the yesterday, I see from this only I realized the fact that everyone first should be that having a proper relationship. Second, you do something for yourself, which can be walking, jogging, cycling, or whichever thing that you like in a day. Maybe music, maybe something that you like. These two things you have to do every day. Third should be something which fills your soul. Something which fills your soul. UPSC, for me, UPSC and books were my soul. So I used to do that every day. But these two things I used to be very, very, I was very closed person, did not take care of my health. But now I understand. You get this idea? These three things do not give up for anyone. Na thiruppiyu solren. One thing goes up, one thing comes down. That is how, people become sad. People keep saying that in this, in this world, I'm not feeling happy or something like that. Why you are not being able to feel happy is that because you are just thinking about your passion. Correct? Human beings have two other sides. இங்க ப்ரொமோஷனும் அப்படிதான் நடக்குது. அப்படியே படிச்சுக்கிட்டே இருங்க, படிக்கலன்னா முடியாது. ஒருத்தன் 12 மணி நேரம் நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன், இந்த மோட்டிவேஷன் வீடியோவை நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். ஒருத்தன் நீங்க 10 மணி நேரம் படிக்கிறீங்க, ஒருத்தன் 12 மணி நேரம் படிக்கிறான், அவன் உங்க சீட் அடிச்சிருவான். அடிச்சுட்டு போ, என்ன இப்போ வச்சுக்கோ, சீட்டு தானே வச்சுக்கோ. See, is there going to be any problem for that? I do not understand. You get this idea? Your seat, your job, your point of this examination is actually fixed. You want to become an IAS officer, IPS officer, IFS officer, that is actually fixed. I am saying it again and again. No person can remove it. You give all your notes to somebody, even that will not, hinder. See, that person will read my notes and become an IAS officer, take my seat. It will never happen. It can never happen. I'll tell you, I'll challenge you. You get this idea? Your seat is fixed. When you want to go, at what time you want to go, how long it is going to take, how you are going to prepare, whether your options are correct, whether the way you prepare is correct, whether reading newspaper you have done, all these things will decide when you reach that. You get this idea? இது வந்து இப்போ somebody will be in 22. அது நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Somebody reaches their destiny at 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. See, whatever age you reach, you will reach. You get this idea? ரொம்ப philosophy போதா? See, last class கொஞ்சம் philosophy தான். So that is why being today Teachers Day, I have become proper in teaching. Sorry, not teaching na enna meaning I am saying na correct time ku varanum, adella I have understood. One thing இது வந்து இந்த ஷேர் பண்றது, இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல I am not able to, the aspirant lifeல இருந்துச்சு இது. See, this I will learn. Okay, in the timing I will talk about this timing in the sense that I had a teacher, his name I think in this I will also talk about who have taught to me. I do not know whether you know this. Arun sir, anyone knows psychology? Arun sir. Now I think he is in Kerala. Arun sir, have you heard? Psychology for இங்க நான் சைக்காலஜி நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். ஆமாங்க, அது வந்து சைக்காலஜி கிளாஸ் இல்ல, ஓகேவா? அது வந்து வேற கிளாஸ், கரெக்டா? வாங்க. Arun sir, he was, you know, he was, no one has heard in Facebook or no? Okay. Actually, Arun sir, he taught me psychology. He taught me psychology. He was the person who actually gave so many insights. He used to read many books. His whole work was, you know, ரெண்டு பேர் இருப்பாங்க. See, his wife, both of them service. He was Indian Postal Service. His wife was IPS. But they both liked each other. So I do not know whether for personal reason they resigned and they were here. Both of them resigned. Arun sir was 7 attempts, I think. 7 attempts, I think. So what he used to do is that 7 வருஷம் போயிடுச்சு, இனிமே லைஃப் ஜாலி தான் இருக்கணும், ஓகேவா? So what he used to do is morning 7 to 9 class. After that no class, no class. நீங்க எவ்வளவு கொடுத்தாலும் no class. After that jogging போவேன், ஸ்கேட்டிங், இங்க ஸ்கேட்டிங் பண்ணுவாரு. நான் அப்படியே பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பேன், என்ன சார் என்ன சார் பண்ணி, in the sense that what and all he missed during this preparation, he wanted to do. Movie போவாரு, அடுத்த நாள் மூவி வந்து பேசுவாரு. Is a service resigned. He resigned and came here. Both of them resigned. So he used to teach sociology. See, he was a very important person. You know, when I came for preparation, he used to teach for 20 limited people. 20 limited people. He used to get minimum amount of fees, and he used to get so many. See, fees is so many Xerox he used to give. நாங்களாம் யோசிப்போம், ஃபீஸ்ல பாதியே ஜெராக்ஸாவே சார் கொடுத்துட்டாரு, அதுல பாதி தான் மிச்சம் இருக்கு. In a sense, then, but one more thing I learned from him was 7 o'clock class. சரியா? மழை வெயில் என்ன வேணா இருக்கட்டுங்க, whatever it may be, 7 o'clock class na, he will be standing there. ஒரு 6:59 he will be standing. 6:59 வரைக்கும் he will not come. 6:59 அப்படி வரும் பாத்தீங்களா, then he will come. Okay, shall we start அப்படின்னாரு. சார் நான் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கேன், மற்றவங்களை வர விடுங்க சார் அப்படின்னா. Okay, so ஒரு 1 minute பாப் சார், 1 minute he'll start. See, but in the sense I understood this concept of on the or teacher now what how it should be. Next, the vadaga, okay, vadaga, that is rent. He will give la every month first day la and the அப்படி கீழே இறங்கி நாங்க வருவோம். So you will go inside and pay the rent and sign first day. நான் first பாக்குறேன், யாரோ ஒருத்தர் first dayல rent கொடுக்குறாரு. See, have you seen anyone? நானும் பார்த்ததே இல்ல. அப்ப see, I learned that from him. So in the sense, see, இது வந்து அருண் sir, now I think he is in Kerala. He used to teach psychology. He was the one who taught me psychology. So like this, many have been their part of the journey that I took as for civil services. So I hope I will also be part of your journey. That is how I get some meaning. ஒரு ஏர்னு ஒரு படம் பாத்தீங்களா? ஏர், ஜார்டன். Did you see that? Documentary இல்ல, அது ஆக்சுவலா மூவி. டாக், Jordan, you know Jordan? Michael Jordan, basketball player. Okay, that is a movie. So in that movie, Nike was the sponsor. Nike was the sponsor of Jordan. In that movie, they talk about this fact that, see, ஒரு ஷூவை I am promoting. So Jordan they want to sign. But you know what they will talk about? This shoe does not have any meaning. Jordan steps into it, then it has meaning. Jordan will become any Jordan with any shoe. But my life, so that is what they will say. So our life, the shoe that we created, you are going to give life to that. So I think the work of a teacher is also like that only. See, whatever I do does not have any meaning. You step into that. You get this idea? You step into that. You become an officer. You doing good things. That is how I get meaning. See, I am not teaching for, to give, if a point a reversal. அதுதான் சொல்றேன்ல, அதனால தான் I don't believe in this concept of star. என்னது அது ஸ்டார் ஃபேக்கல்டி? அது என்ன ஃபேக்கல்டி அது? ஸ்டார் ஃபேக்கல்டில படிச்சா ஐஏஎஸ் வந்துருமா? See, it does not have any meaning. Whatever I do, whichever faculty, whatever faculty, whoever it may be, எவ்வளவு பெரிய அளவனா இருக்கட்டும், that does not have any meaning. That has meaning when the student you are looking at, you will become an officer. அதான் சொல்றேன், Jordan is Jordan, immaterial of whoever has the shoe with him. Shoe I am providing. இந்த Nike shoe நாலதான் he became an இதுவா? See, he will become Jordan, immaterial of whoever is. I am deriving my meaning through you guys. You get this idea? I think that is the teacher. Adan teacher oda meaning. Adnalda teacher, adnalda mata pita guru deivamna. If you look at these categories of people that in India they have, they will not derive happiness by merely, doing what they do. So amma na, see, other point, amma appa na, they will derive meaning through the way you have become what? I think I've said this. A society grows when old men understand the fact that they will plant trees under which they will never sit. You look at how your mother, father, see, not all teachers. I don't think in India, and the concept of teachers, is that ஒரு புனிதம்லாம் கிடையாது. அந்த பாயிண்ட் புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க, because I know many இது அதுல விட்டுறலாம். But you look at the meaning is that because all these things will not have meaning on their own. You become an officer. Today you become whatever, and you think about whatever I have said. Do you really think அதுதான் சொல்ல? அதனால தான் எனக்கு அந்த ஸ்டார் ஃபேக்டர் அந்த பாயிண்டே எனக்கு புரியவே மாட்டேங்குது. See, இப்ப நான் ஐயோ மாத்தி வேற ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்க, டக்குன்னு வந்துற போது. ஐயோ, வேற ஏதாவது ஒரு புதுசா ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் சொல்லுங்க. ஏதாவது ஒரு புதுசா ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் சொல்லுங்க. எதுங்க? அனிமல் ஹஸ்பண்ட்ரி. See, let us assume that if there is an option like cosmology. Option is cosmology. Okay, wow. Let us assume that Carl Sagan comes and teach. Carl Sagan, do you know? He is also one of my teachers. So Ekalavya Mazda. See, many teachers I have. Carl Sagan is one of them. Have you seen his videos? No? I have told about him. See, Carl Sagan was the first person who understood this concept that he wanted to make science approachable to everyone. So many, see, adada solra, look at his videos and all. YouTube la motivation க்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பாக்குறாங்க பாருங்க வீடியோ. எதுக்குடா இந்த வீடியோல சார் ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் வருது? ஏன் இப்ப அப்துல் கலாம் சார் இருக்காரு, ஏன் இந்த கால் சேகன் இருக்காங்க, அதெல்லாம் பட் ஆனா கால் சேகன் காஸ்மாலஜி. Let us assume that Carl Sagan comes and teaches. Yeah, he will definitely say this fact. He will say this fact, I teach, but Anna, you guys have to read. Okay, I will be, a bridge for this examination. I am definitely sure. And I have seen him say that. Adam point. I have seen him say that in his videos. That he's teaching, but Anna, how it is going to go to the society is dependent on the person who is receiving, right? You get this idea? See, I don't think any star faculty is there more than Carl Sagan. Satyama எனக்கு தெரியல. I don't think anyone has that, Walter Levin பாத்திருக்கீங்களா? Walter Levin YouTubeல என்ன பாப்பீங்க? See, இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ் டிஸ்கஷன் தாங்க. இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ் டிஸ்கஷன் தான். ஓகேவா? தூக்கம் வந்துச்சுன்னா சொல்லுங்க. தூக்கம் வருதா? தூக்கம் வரல. தூக்கம் வந்துச்சுன்னா கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க, சரியா? வால்டர் லெவின் you never seen? என்னங்க நீங்க வால்டர் லெவின் பார்த்தது இல்லையா? பிசிக்ஸ் வால்டர் லெவின்? நோ? என்னங்க he teaches physics. ஓகேவா? யூடியூப் எப்படிங்க போறது? யூடியூப்ல அதுல வெளியே இருந்துச்சா? ஓகே, வெளியே இருக்கா? எங்க இல்லையே. Chrome lay, okay. Okay. See, haven't you seen him? This is Walter Levin.
I have here a pendulum. I have an object that weighs 15 kilograms and I can lift it up 1 meter, which I have done now. That means I've done work. MGH, the work I have done. I've increased the potential energy of this object. 15 times 10 to 150 joules. If I let it fall, then that will be converted to kinetic energy. If I would let it swing from 1 meter height, and you would be there and it would hit you, you'd be dead. 150 joules is enough to kill you. They use these devices called a wrecking ball. They use them to demolish buildings. You lift up a very heavy object, even heavier than this, and then you let it go, you swing it, thereby converting gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy, and that way you can demolish the building. You just let it hit, and it breaks the building. That's the whole idea of wrecking. So you're using then the conversion of gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy. Now, I am such a strong believer of the conservation of mechanical energy that I am willing to put my life.
Have you seen இது பாத்துருக்கீங்களா இது இந்த வீடியோ பாத்துருக்கீங்களா?
If I release
is it in the sense, but Anna, everyone has seen this video, okay, but Anna, you know that, right? See, you'll stand there and see, you know why I see why in the meaning from when I started or when I was reading for civil services, that was different. But when I wanted to teach, he says that if a class or somebody teaching the same, see, that is what he writes in his book. See, that's not teaching, right? A teacher has to take the effort like this, and that is why I keep on repeating this fact, whichever it may be, UPSC or engineering or whichever stream it may be. If I teach, I should not bound you into one notes. Today, and the myth na solran, notes are one of the most dangerous thing that ever in civil services. I think notes are important. See, adu purinjikonga, notes are important. But I think in civil services, whatever notes are there are prepared by a group of people who have not they cleared. See, other point, and the notes who created is important. If they had not written mains, let us assume that the notes will be good, diagrammatic stuff like that, but it will not be targeting mains. Unless and until you write mains, you will not be able to understand this is the necessity of this exam. Question analysis I did. Varadundra. Na solradhu purida. The examples that I will quote are examples which I feel are important, stuff like that. What is necessary for the exam will be different. You get this idea? So, see, something like Arun sir, Walter Levin, many other people are there. I think I have said many of the stuff which I spoke, are from these books. Many of the concepts of political science. There is a Francis Fukuyama. Look at him, okay? Francis Fukuyama. He will come to you, or if you go to Missouri, he will come to you for a taking class. I don't think any person I have seen with such erudition. the way he speaks itself, see this in the point on the watch on the the mannerism. One is I used to write mains and I used to have this watch for my இது. But அந்த mannerism அவர்கிட்ட தான் கத்துக்கிட்டேன். அது பார்த்த உடனே அப்பா இப்படி இல்ல பண்ணணும். ஆனா he is ப்ராப்பரா ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணுவாரு. See that I am not able to learn. அது வந்து maybe I'll start learning. I think in civil services நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். அப்படி நல்லா அந்த பந்து இப்படி எல்லாம் போட்டு வந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. நல்ல இப்படி நேரு ஜாக்கெட்டு இல்ல சீடா ஏன்டா இப்படி பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு நான் என் ஃப்ரெண்ட கேட்பேன். டேய் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணணும்டா. இட்ஸ் லைக் அப்பியரன்ஸ். பட் ஐ டோன்ட் பிலீவ் இன் தட். அது என்ன பண்றது எனக்கு தெரியல. பட் ஆனா அவன் என்ன சொல்லுவான், நீ இது பண்ணலன்னா அவ்வளவுதான் முடிஞ்சு. எனிவேஸ் வில் see. let us see. I'll try to become like. ஆனா நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். see ஒரு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணும்னா இப்போ வால்டர் லெவின் have you seen? கம்ஃபர்டபுளா இருக்கணும். இல்லைன்னா கிளாஸ் எப்படி எடுக்கிறது? இப்படி மூஞ்சி வரைக்கும் வரும். கரெக்டா? நான் வந்து இப்படி போட்டுக்கிட்டு இப்படி இப்படி உட்கார்ந்து இருந்தேன்னு வச்சுக்கோமே, அப்புறம் பச்சோம் ஆஜ் கியா படே சே அப்படின்னு டேய் என்னடா சொல்றேன் அப்படிதானே சொல்றாங்க. சரி வாங்க. So we'll summarize this. Okay va? So today all the keywords, you tell me what are all the keywords. I'll today summarize those keywords and then I will give the way forward for this exam. So the first keyword is question writing. All this question writing. Keyword first is critically. See, if I miss some keyword, you also please tell me. See, I have some 8, 9, 10 keywords are there, something like that. Critically comment. Okay, critically comment. How do you write that? I think we have elaborately spoke about this. While I talk, you can also take one question as an example with you in your hand, so that it may have an resemblance of what we talk. Basic for critically. See, if they say critically, okay, anything attached to the word critically means it has to have both the sides. Critically means Gati Shakti Yojana is very, very good. Correct? Definitely it is. Or Aadhar is very, very good. Obviously, we have so many good things about Aadhar. But if they give a statement like critically comment, okay, critically evaluate is different. Critically comment na, that they are exactly meaning that they want you to, decipher that. Look at that as from the officer perspective. See, tomorrow, as an officer, you are all devil's advocate. Do you understand that? Devil's advocate means if they propose let us assume that they are proposing a policy. It is your job to prove that that is wrong. See, that is how discussion develops. It is your job to say, sir, look at these data. These are the number of. So let us assume that if it is a scheme like, morning breakfast, you have to talk about morning breakfast. What are all the problems? Children may eat at home, so double adana problem aichu. See, idu vandu critically evaluation. Politically, if we go, it's a bad thing. But critical evaluation, you have to talk about that. One thing is that. Second also, see, schools, primary schools. Now, we spoke about how we are spending so much of amount on primary schools. Now, gross enrollment ratio, we have to increase in higher secondary. So the amount if we spend in primary school enrollment already over. Medium term, now we are coming to medium. That is, medium means 5th standard. Primary 1 to 5, 5 to 8, now almost over. Now we have to concentrate on 11th, 12th, college, research. For Tamil Nadu, see, for Bihar, it is a different thing. So like this, if you start analyzing one thing, that is what is called as critically comment. They will talk about critically comment about Poshan Abhiyan means all the. So what you have to think about is and always definition. See, I think if you write the definition and no writing definition like, it's an important scheme. It's a scheme which gives so much of food and stuff. Don't write like that. What is the meaning of that? Okay, Poshan Abhiyan, now what is the meaning of that? It was started in the year by this ministry for removing poverty, hunger, according to SDG. Like that it should be. You get this idea? So then the point is that you comment on. So two ways are there. So if you write the positives, so I am using the word positives. Let us assume that first you write critically comment, you are commenting and you say the positive things. First you are talking about the positive things. Next you have to talk about the negative things. Okay? But if you write the negative things, you should not end there. The end will not come if you do this. The end has to be a way forward. Way forward means how do you change? See, whatever you have said is a wrong thing, right? You have to change that. You have to change that. You get this idea? And that is what I said. This is what in newspaper, what we have to take down as points, and the people keep asking. There will be news articles where they will give suggestions. They will say how to remove poverty, how to remove hunger. These are the changes which can be made in a particular law. The article will be about that only. You have to note that down. Seriya? And how do you note that down? Means we have completed acumen. Each of the topics we have discussed, one question we have discussed, each of the topics we have discussed. How do you take notes now? Means you look at, this is in syllabus. This is the word which is in syllabus. So syllabus, so look at this point. This triangle. So it is any article. See, any article. So I think 2-3 days I have not read newspaper also. See how to I do not know our society, sociology or anthropology, our society, how it has become means next day we have to run, something very, very big happens, which can be little traumatic also, but next day you have to run. And the glorify vara பண்ணுவாங்க. The cricketல நான் பாத்துறேன். Cricket I think Bumrah எனக்கு இப்ப cricket பார்க்கறது நிறுத்திட்டேன். Okay, I don't watch cricket. Last time நான் கடைசியா பார்த்த படம் ஷோலேங்கன்ற மாதிரி லாஸ்டா நான் பார்த்த மேட்ச் டிராவிட் விளையாடினப்போ, எனக்கு டிராவிட் பிடிக்கும். ஸோ டிராவிட் லாஸ்டா ஐசா, ஐ திங்க் ஹி ரிட்டையர்ட் இன் 2012-11 சம்வேர். ஓகேவா? அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் பார்க்கல. பட் ஐ திங்க் பும்ரா நவ் ஒரு பிளேயர் இருக்காருல்ல. ஐ சா a tweet like அவன் குழந்தை பிறந்திருக்கு போல. ஸோ அவன் பாய் நான் குழந்தைய பார்க்க போறேன் போயிட்டானா. அத ஒரு குத்தமா, தேச துரோகமா, டேய் இதுல என்ன தப்பு இருக்கு? அவன் குழந்தை பிறந்திருக்கு. And I know for a fact that, see, I think I do not know whether you know this because I was young at that time. Sachin Tendulkar's dad passed away. Sachin Tendulkar was playing a series above. At that time, Sachin Tendulkar was like a real god. See, for India, Tendulkar was a god. Now, see, age time has happened. I remember that this happened, and his dad passed away. But the point is that next match he comes and he scores a century. எனக்கு அது நல்லா ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. Scores a century and he takes this helmet off and அப்படியே பார்த்து, see, usually does that. கரெக்டா? It can happen, but each person has their way of grieving. Each person has their way of anyways. But சொல்றேன், சிஸ்டம் அப்படி இருக்கு. So don't have what to say, ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் எல்லாம் வச்சுக்காதீங்க. லீவ் போடணுமா லீவ் போட்டுருங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். You get this idea? So now you think about this. So syllabus is there. So if you read an article, so poverty, shall I say poverty or poverty? Okay. So you read an article. We have in Acumen, spoke about poverty with, I think, 2-3 questions I have spoke about. 2-3 questions definitely I have spoke about. So yeah. So what you do from the newspaper is that you take down the suggestions. Okay, spelling tapar. Okay. You take down the suggestions first. And if they have, see, many articles will not discuss elaborately about pros and cons and stuff like that, but there will be peculiar articles where this part will be there. You can actually take the suggestion and put that paper into this next acumen, whatever we have spoke, you add it to that paper. Don't touch that paper. This you can do for not only paper, yojana. So the yojana, yesterday you were reading, what is that yojana? Amrit Kal, I think new one thing which has come, now it has come. It talks about an article which is there about agriculture. Everything that we spoke in class, agriculture production was in 1950, it was here, it is there. It is there, right? So what you do is that you make that article, you again add it to this point, then leave that. Hold on, which you can say this will take time. I think for this only we are there, right? It will take time. Definitely it is going to take time. That is why I say, point we waste our time in what is that, current affairs material or stuff like that. Are going to, instead of doing these two things, what people usually do is current affairs material is there, current affairs class is there, I will go take that. The thing is that unless you do, you will not understand how to fit it into the question. Clearer you understand it. Unless, see, every work you cannot do. You get this idea? If a yojana way, you see, every work if I have to ask you to do now, you have to write that yojana article. Agriculture research, I am not asking you to do that. Article is there, you take that and fit it here. Okay, fit with this. So look at the question. So now further what you have to do is, now prelims has started. Now no more, I don't want you to do again, what is this, mains. Don't push yourself too much, because prelims is very, very important. What you sow now, you will reap then, definitely. So yeah, but you should not stop this habit. Slower you can do. For, see, poverty, I'm saying, maybe Panchayat Raj it can be, if an article, so let us assume that now we have this concept of, one nation, one election. So I think there is a committee which has formed, so they will obviously make something, some report or something. We have discussed federalism. See, if the article gives important points, take 2-5 simple keywords down. That is the practice that you should have. What we usually do is we outsource it to somebody, and the outsourcing is not giving a, necessary things have to be outsourced. See, this I have to outsource only. This I have to outsource. That is, I cannot keep on writing with this. I have to outsource this to a technology. Similarly, I cannot keep carrying water in my bag. I have to outsource it here. But I am not outsourcing my, knowledge to anybody. Or the way I have to prepare something, I am not outsourcing to anybody. I may take some help. If you see, if you don't, what is the consequence? It will happen is that you will not get many points when you write. The concept. So why do people keep repeating the fact that I am not getting points when I am writing? Is that because this part as a whole is missing. So next point. So this person says he read only notes. But point some person will come and say, no, I read this notes only. I completely read all these things. See, today you give me notes. 10 days la mains. See, maybe I have not read anything. You give me a particular set of notes. I can read that notes, go write mains, I can clear. You get this idea? I can do that. Anudeep can do that. All of them have made this earlier. So first, நம்ம ஒரு toppers, see, அந்த concept, இது கூடயே அதை பேசிட்டா இல்ல வந்து தனியா அதை பேசுவோமா? எப்படி? இது வந்து இதுல 9 இருக்கு, இது முடிச்சிட்டு அதை பேசிட்டா இல்ல இது கூடயே நம்ம பேசிடுவோமா? We'll finish this. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that in a detailed way. So notes, when it is necessary, I will tell you. I think I've spoke about this. So this work is your work from today. Next, what you do after acumen is that don't worry about it. What to do, things like that. Newspaper is your line. Yeah, newspaper is your line. That is what, see, 2 days, 3 days I did not read newspaper. Immediately I'm finding it difficult to correlate points. And the how I was able to correlate points means I used to read newspaper and come to class. Then only I would be saying, today federalism topic came, right? So put it here, something like that. So after acumen, it is your job to dutifully go, but definitely not more than 2 hours. Definitely. See, if you are a person saying no, 2 hours and more I am taking for reading a newspaper, I would say stop it. Okay, if that is there is a problem in that. Newspaper articles, you look at the articles which I am talking about, it will be very important articles only. I'm not going into all these details. I think yesterday or a student was saying like yesterday a few days ago, இப்போ ஏதோ ஒரு அக்னி ஏதோ சம்திங் வந்துருச்சுன்னு வச்சுப்போம். சரி, அக்னின்னு வந்துருச்சு, question prelims has come. So sideல snippetல they are giving அக்னின்னு வச்சுப்போம். அந்த கிளாஸ்ல அப்படி சொன்னாங்களா, அந்த சென்ஸ் he was telling me, நீங்க இது படிக்கலையா, நீ அந்த A to Z படிக்கல, அப்பா ஃபெயில். see, அப்படிலாம் நடக்காது. You get this idea? I am not asking you to do A to Z லாம். I am asking you to understand syllabus, what we have done, take necessary things. If you are leaving out something, that will not cost you. சரியா? அத வந்து மைண்ட்ல எப்பவுமே வச்சுக்கோங்க. Next shall I go? So critically comment. One more thing is there, critically evaluate. Evaluate or critically evaluate. What is the difference, critically evaluate. Any difference in this? Way forward can be the conclusion. See, because one more, I have not spoke about the second method, right? See, you can do this in a different way also. Definition, negative, positive, conclusion. Here conclusion can come because it's a logic. See, if it is positive means, why do I have to give way forward? Positive means you are going to, so here I will talk about one more thing. If you are talking about way forward, let us assume that way forward you are talking about. Way forward, as I said, way forward is nothing but the suggestions from Yojana, Kurukshetra, okay, Kurukshetra, leave that, Yojana and newspaper. Whatever you have taken down, whether death sentence should be there or not. So you will take one set of things which you have gotten for newspaper. That is what you will add here. Polity means any committee name should be there. If it is polity, definitely, see, you take any topic, or federalism, can we take federalism? Federalism na way forward should not be your way forward. Federalism way forward should be Punchi Commission's way forward. National Commission for Venkatachalaya Commission. What is that? National Commission for Change in Constitution or something like that. Reforms in Constitution. See, you should develop this habit. How to read, point it down. How to read all these committee and all. You have to read it along with this. What we usually do is we read it, in a complete material. In the committee, that committee, this committee. That is why it is not sticking in your brain. Why something ARC report? Hundreds of times சொல்றேன். எத்தனை பேர் கேட்டிருக்காங்க தெரியுமா ஏஆர்சி படிக்கணுமான்னு? GS4 புக் இருக்குல்ல, நீங்க ஒரு புக்கு கொடுத்தீங்களா நேத்து, கவர்னன்ஸ் டாபிக் இருக்குல்ல, வாட் எவர் யூ ஹேவ் GS4 கவர்னன்ஸ் டாபிக் இன் GS4, all that cut copy paste from ARC only, right? Right இல்ல? ஆமா, அதான் பண்றாங்க. ஓகே, see what I am trying to say is that I am not asking you to read the full thing. One thing I have given. So GS4 means you read this. Disaster management means you read this. From this you can take one sample. Panchayat Raj you have. I have told that also. So you can take the synapses from that. You can fit it here. So no, see, you should not write like way forward. You get this idea? Way forward na one committee. இதுல ஃபிட்டிங் எப்படி ஆகும் பாருங்க. இப்போ see, you will read all that, சரியா? You will forget it when you fit like this. So Panchayat Raj you want recommendations, go to ARC. அந்த PDS systemல நீங்க எனக்கு காமிச்சீங்களா, அது என்ன Shantakumar committee PDS system. Let us see, there is a topic PDS system, question we have discussed here, poverty, land reforms, everything we have discussed, all that clubbed together. So way forward what you give means you give a Shantakumar committee, not frivolous small committee la thevalla. You get this idea? ஒரு பெரிய மேஜிக்கும் இல்ல. And இப்போ let us assume that I am talking about privacy. Let us assume I am talking about privacy. You give the way forward as Puttaswamy committee, sorry, case. பாத்தீங்களா, இதான் தப்பு. இப்போ ஒரே மாதிரி போனா வருதா? You should, you know, what I am trying to say is that in the example I will try to give you, because Pragnananda chess, this is a way, it's a true fact also. Chess la why see, all that I am saying is I did, நீங்களும் பண்ணுங்க அப்படிக்கு நான் சொல்லல. தம்பி நான் படிச்சது இப்படிதான் தம்பி, நீ படி தம்பி, நான் இப்படி படிச்சுதான் IAS ஆனேன் அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லல. ஓகேவா? ஏன்னா நம்மளுக்கு அது வராது. What I am trying to say is that how this works. This is how somebody has to be taught, and you have to read and to become an officer. Chess I'll explain this concept. See, you know how many pieces, how many boxes? 64, right? See, chess players have this capability. Chess playing people, you arrange, see, if the game is, let us assume that the game is happening. Your game is happening faster. What happens is that in between something happens and the chess pieces fall off. They can arrange that. தெரியுமா? நீ பாத்துறீங்களா? See, I have seen that in, you know, the competition la I have seen that. You are playing, see, with their notations they will arrange. That is also possible. They will have a notations. Okay, or notation irukum. They will check that and arrange. I am not saying that. I am saying literally from their memory they will arrange. It was here, it was here. But on a second scenario I will give you. Second, this is a game they were playing. Okay, they are arranging pieces from the game they are playing. Second scenario I will say. Second scenario is that I arranged randomly. இங்க ஒரு rook, இங்க ஒரு bishop. சும்மா randomly I am arranging. Randomly rook, bishop, you know that, right? Rook na and the elephant, bishop, you know, and the notations, right? So I am arranging in a one different direction. So now I remove that. Vishwanathan Anand also cannot, இப்போ நான் Vishwanathan Anand அது படிக்க சொல்லுவேன், நான் தள்ளி போட்டுருவேன். Vishwanathan Anand cannot also again keep it. Why, you understand? ஏன் புரியுதா? அது அந்த சீக்வன்ஸ் கான்டெக்ஸ்டே இருக்காது. See, there will be no context. அதான் சொல்றேன், Magnus, whoever it may be. But ஆனா if when they are playing, you know, when they are playing, they'll be playing, something happens and it falls off na, without seeing the notation, immediate. See, basic, not grandmaster, basic I have seen in the competition la நான் பாத்துர்க்கேன். அது கீழ விழுந்துரும், டக்கு டக்கு டக்குன்னு எடுத்து வச்சிருவாங்க. Okay va? That is what your brain is also designed to do. It has to have a context. When you know, go for, அதாங்க பிரச்சனையே ஆகுது எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு. இந்த ரிசல்ட் திருப்பி சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இந்த நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், ஹிந்தினால தான் போச்சு. நான் திருப்பியும் சொல்றேன், ஹிந்தினால போல. ஓகேவா? நான் ஹிந்தி தான் படிச்சேன். ஓகேவா? ஹிந்தி தான் படிச்சேன். அந்த ஹிந்தினால there is no, you know, so much advantage to anyone. Everyone has equal advantage. You get this idea? Where we are missing now, we are actually missing here. And the context, we have read poverty, we have read disaster management, we have read internal security, we have read governance. How is it all connected to this part? We have never made that part, or we have never made this part. We have never put in our efforts to see. Adha annikku sonna, Karl Marx says alienation of your work. You know that example that he gives? Karl Marx oda factory worker one vera alienation prelims question adrima. Alienation, one time they asked, materialism they asked ஒரு question இருக்கு. Historic இதுங்க stateless இல்ல, one more question is also there. So the example that he gives is in the சட்டிப்பானை செய்யறது. In a sense, many of the CEOs and people have this as their hobby, pottery making. பாத்திருக்கீங்களா? உட்கார்ந்து பாட்டு செஞ்சிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. என்ன மீனிங்னா, you are doing something out of your hand and it gets created. You are not alienated from that. You feel happy. That is what last day I was discussing la. How much, see, 1 crore எவ்வளவு வேணுங்க? 10,000 ஆனா என்கிட்ட இல்ல. I think இப்போ ஒரு சாமியார் சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். தலை உதயநிதியோட தலை எடுத்துருந்தா 10 crore எவ்வளவு? 10 crore. ஆனா நான் கரெக்டான கொஸ்டின் தான். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 10 crore இருக்கா? பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட் காட்டுங்க, அப்புறம் வேணா நான். See, the meaning is that இப்ப என்கிட்ட இல்ல, but I am saying ஒரு எவ்வளவு கோடி வேணுங்க? எவ்வளவு வச்சுக்கலாம்? இவனோட எலான் மஸ்கோட ஹையர் அமௌண்ட், ஓகேவா? பட் ஆனா யூ ஷுட் நாட் டூ எனிதிங். அதுக்கப்புறம் அருணாச்சலம் படம் அதுதான். See, அருணாச்சலம் கான்செப்ட் படம் வந்து இதுதான். You have so much of money, but you are not working for it na. 5 days, 7 days, 1 year, சத்தியமா சொல்ற அதோட முடிஞ்சிரும். you'll feel depressed. அந்த மணி வேணா அடிக்கடிக்கு வச்சுக்கலாம், ஓகேவா? But if you are not doing that, that is what is the concept of alienation. If any other point, software employees or whatever, or gig employees, they don't feel gig employees. You can write in sociology. So like this, you have to, if a gig workers bill is there, what we usually do, gig workers current affairs படிச்சுட்டு விட்டுறது. Gig workers is connected to sociology la alienation. Thinkers, இதுங்க job opportunities, how to upskill them, suggestions will be there adula. சரியா? The point is that, so all this is what is creating that human society with an alienated concept of, and that is the point. That is why most of night 3 மணிக்கு பிரியாணி சாப்பிடு. See, உங்களோட லட்சியம் என்னங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்டா, தலைவர் படத்தை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டே பார்த்துருந்தேன், நல்ல லட்சியமா இருக்கு. Why do you think they have that kind of the work that they do is so alienated? You know that psychology? Why? அது சொல்லலாம் பரவாயில்ல, ஆனா பேர் சொல்லக்கூடாது. பட் you know that why these actors are so popular? What is the psychology behind that? எதுங்க? சோசியாலஜி ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்க. சோசியாலஜி, ஆந்த்ரோபாலஜி, ஏதாவது psychology, any you have these big 4 actors irukangala. 4 actors, I think they have this huge pull, more than 1 crore tickets sell for them, each of them. See, Kamal விட்டுருங்க, கமல் வேண்டாம். கமல் வந்து he kind of experiments. Let us assume that others வச்சுக்கலாம். Why they will not change the hairstyle, dance, mannerism எல்லாம் change பண்ண மாட்டாங்க? ஏன்? They want to be in a sense that they think that they are them, because in the society you cannot be. இந்த சொசைட்டில பறக்க விட முடியுமாங்க? இப்ப எனக்கு ஒருத்தன, எனக்கு கடுப்பா இருக்கு, போவேன் பைக்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கேன், நடுவுல போயிடுவான், அவன்கிட்ட அப்படின்னு அவன் திரும்பி பார்த்தேன், சார் போயிட்டு வாங்க, பை, ஓகே தேங்க்யூ, ஓகே சார் தேங்க்யூ. See, but the point is that இதுவே படத்துல இந்த அட்லி படம் நான் பார்த்தேன். இப்ப பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, 15 பேர் இருக்கோம். நான் ஒரு லெஃப்ட்ல இப்படி அடிப்பேன், ரைட்ல இப்படி அடிப்பேன், மிச்சம் எல்லாம் ஓடிடுவான், மிச்சம் எல்லாம் ஓட மாட்டான், மண்டே உடைச்சிருவான். See, the point is that what I cannot do here, I am actually looking at the screen and I feel, and அது இது வந்து it's a true fact, it's a psychology. You get this idea. எதுக்கு இது எழுதா? ஐயோ இதுங்க சஜஷனா make being part pottery. See, the point is that when you are working on some, அதனால தான் first day they want to go, because the work that they have been alienated so much. They've alienated themselves to the extent that somewhere they want to feel part, and that 3 hours makes them part of that. நீங்க பாருங்களேன், அது எல்லாமே அப்படியேதான். அது இங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்களோ அங்கதான் அதான் நடக்கும். இப்ப தலைவர் அடிப்பார் பாரு அப்படின்னுவாங்க, அங்க அதே மாதிரி அடி விழுவோம். See, it makes you, psychological, you think about it, otherwise no point. எனக்கு நீங்க யாராவது first day first show கபாலி போனீங்களா? See, but Anna, have you seen the people? I have seen so many. Okay, I've seen so many. அதுதான் point. So when you come to the part where you are alienate, அது வந்து alienate, அதுதான் சொன்னேன், don't get alienated. சரியா? இப்போ நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு பிரேக் விட்டுட்டா, பிரேக் விட்டு கண்டினியூ பண்ணுவோமா? தூக்கம் வந்துருச்சா? See, அதான் சொன்னேன், இன்னைக்கு வந்து ஜென்ரல் டாபிக் தாங்க. என்னாலையும் see, I too could not read actually. எனக்கு படிக்கலாம்னு நினைச்சேன், பட் எனக்கு தெரியல how to read. எனக்கு சத்தியமா தெரியல. மேபி டுமாரோ, இப்போ when I talk to you, I'll go back, maybe I'll read. அதனால தான் இந்த புக் எடுத்துட்டு வந்தேன். So I can go back and then I can start reading. பட் yesterday எல்லாம் எப்படி புக் படிக்கிறதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. எப்படி படிக்கிறது? ஏதாவது ரவி ஒரு ஐடியா சொல்லுங்க. நான் கேக்குறேன், எல்லா வாட்டியும் என்னையே மாத்தி சார், ஹவு டு, எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு டென்ஷனா இருக்கு, புக்கே படிக்க முடியல. ரவி எனக்கு ஒரு ஐடியா. தூங்கிட்டு தாங்க வந்தேன். We'll take a break. So இது வந்து we'll pause it. Okay, pause it. We'll start again. Okay, we'll start this. Okay, I'll start talking about this. Okay, so when I was genuinely talking to him, he said these things. In the office, he was like, office la, when I met him, see, he has எத்தனை பில்டிங், அவன் ஆபீஸே ஒரு 4 மாடி இருக்குது, வெறும் ஆபீஸ். இப்போ I went and spoke to him. Okay, I went and spoke to him. See, anga he was different, but then after we come back and we go and we talk separately அப்படின்னா, then he was also suggesting the same thing, same age as me. He was also suggesting the same thing, that see, whatever comes as money, it's not going to be that important to you. What money brings you is freedom. Correct? But what he genuinely likes doing is the business. How do you, the factory and the concepts, that was the other money people. அதனால தான் எனக்கு வந்து ரஜினிகாந்த் சொல்றதுல ஒரு பாயிண்ட், அதான் நிறைய பேர் ரஜினிகாந்த் வந்து திட்டுவாங்க, 100 கோடி வாங்கிட்டு வந்து இப்படி எல்லாம் சொல்றாரு. இந்த சென்ஸ் வந்து he saying இல்ல, money is not important சொல்றாருல. See, what he is actually meaning is true. ஆனா நீங்க ஏன் ஸ்டாப் பண்ண மாட்டீங்கன்னா, that process only makes him alive. அந்த processல if he is not there, or if he does not like doing something, that will not give him any more இது. ஆனா reward everyone wants. கடமையை செய் பலனை அதெல்லாம் எதிர்பார்த்தே ஆகணும். அதெல்லாம் நம்ம வந்து அந்த மாதிரிலாம். இப்ப பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, why 100 crores now? Because the business that he makes is huge, so obviously he will want a part of it, right? So if the business is less, I'll get less. Okay, agreed. You get this idea, but I should not worry about the number of business that it makes. I should make a product which really makes me happy, and I will sell it and I will gain some part of it. That's it. Part of it, whatever is necessary for me. You get this idea? So that is why I say also, definitely உங்களுக்கு வந்து you will get settled somewhere very good, but genuinely you should be happy doing something every day. That can be other point. That can be இப்போ சாஃப்ட்வேர்னா சாஃப்ட்வேர், ஆக்டிங்னா ஆக்டிங், சிங்கிங்னா சிங்கிங், வேற என்ன இருக்கு, டான்சிங்னா டான்சிங், வேற என்ன இருக்குங்க, எதுங்க, ரைட்டிங், ரைட்டிங்னா ரைட்டிங், போயட்ரினா போயட்ரி, ஐஏஎஸ்னா ஐஏஎஸ். ஐபிஎஸ்னா ஐபிஎஸ், ஐஆர்எஸ்னா ஐஆர்எஸ். நான் வந்து அது தெரியும்ல உங்களுக்கு, அது பெரிய பிரச்சனை நடக்கும். ஐஏஎஸ் ஐபி அது தெரியுமாங்க உங்களுக்கு? உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். உங்க இவர்கிட்ட கேட்டீங்கன்னா தெரியும். ஐஏஎஸ் ஐபிஎஸ் ஐஆர்எஸ். ஐஏஎஸ் வந்து ஐபிஎஸ் பெருசா எங்க லாபி பெருசு அப்படின்னுவாங்க. இப்ப என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஒருத்தர் ஐபிஎஸ்க்கு ஒரு பெரிய லாபியே இருக்குடா அப்படின்னு. ஐஆர்எஸ் நாங்க பெரிய 3 பேரும் மாத்திப்பாங்க. there will not be any coordination. ஐஏஎஸ்னா ஐஏஎஸ் லாபிக்குள்ள இருப்பாங்க, ஐபிஎஸ்னா ஐபிஎஸ் லாபிக்குள்ள இருப்பாங்க. கரெக்டாங்க? இப்ப ட்ரைனிங் போனீங்கன்னா இன்னொன்னு தெரியுமா? ட்ரைனிங் போனீங்கன்னா ட்ரைனிங்ல எவ்ரி ஸ்டேட் கோஸ்ல இந்த ட்ரைனிங் ஐ ஹவ் சீன் தமிழ்நாடு will sit together, கேரளா will sit together. கரெக்டா? நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன் இதை. கேரளா will sit together, மகாராஷ்டிரா will sit together. But it will be like a kuti India. That is good. But what I am trying to say is that everything is good. Everything is good. You should see whether you like doing it. Avladhaan. IRS is good, IPS is good, IFS is good, IAS is good. Whatever job you do, you should think whether you really like it. Don't think about IAS kadachadhaan iduntu. அப்படி சொல்லல நான். ஓகேவா? ஈச் பர்சன். அதனால தான் நான் திருப்பி சொல்லுவேன் எனக்கு ஐபிஎஸ் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஸோ if I get that, I would be really happy. That is the whole part of it. If you get that, next 30-40 years வந்து the meaning is that இதை நான் வந்து அன்னைக்கு சொன்னேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அது ஒரு பாட்டு திருப்பி அதான் இன்னைக்கு லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பாட்டு. ஏன் ஏஞ்சி போறீங்களா? சொல்ல போற பாட்டை சொல்ல போறேன். ஓகேவா? அந்த படிக்காதவன் மூவி ஹேவ் யூ சீன்? அந்த படிக்காதவன் மூவில விஜய், ரஜினி, சிவாஜி அண்ட் திங்ஸ் லைக் தட். சிவாஜி வில் சே ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கு, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாட்டு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? அதான் உள்ளம் எதிர்பார்க்காமல் வெள்ளம் வரலாம். இட்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி GS4. அதான் GS4க்கு புக்கு இப்போ நான் பார்த்தேன். இந்த புக்கு எல்லாம் படிக்காதீங்க, அந்த பாட்டு கேளுங்க. ஓகேவா? GS4க்கு நியூஸ் பேப்பர் அந்த பாட்டை ஃபுல்லா கேளுங்களேன். யூ வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் இஸ் GS4. Get this point. அதுல வந்து he will talk about this உள்ளம் எதிர் and true. It can have what will hit you at what point no one knows. Definitely வரும், நான் சொல்லல. ஓகேவா? But if you have your path which you really like doing, not like workaholic. Workaholic என்றது wrong concept. சரியா? Workaholic you immerse yourself into something to forget things. It's not like that. You have to be அந்த இதுக்குள்ள சட்டிப்பான செய்யற மாதிரி ஆகணும். If you are able to do that, என்ன many things will come. அது போக நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் வரும், ஹெல்த் இஷ்யூஸ், many things. You will not be அந்த இதனால பயந்துட மாட்டீங்க. If you don't, எனக்குலாம் அந்த last 10 years this was a problem. Last 10 years I read books, but I was not an IPS. So I was thinking about if there is some problem, how do I handle it? இப்போ ஐபிஎஸ் ஆயிட்டா அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் வராதா? கண்டிப்பா வரும்ல. கம்மியா வலிக்குமா? இப்போ ஐபிஎஸ் இருக்கேன், இப்போ ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம் வருது, கம்மியா வலிக்குமா? சேம் தானே. பட் வாட் வில் சேஞ்ச் இஸ் தட் ஐ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு ஹேண்டில் இட் பெட்டர். Not because of the power I have, because of the path I have. You get this idea? This is the whole logic. அதனால தான் இந்த ஏஜ்ல if you find a path, take the path, get the path, deal with life. அவ்வளவுதான். அது வடிவேல் சொல்ற மாதிரி டீல் பண்ணிக்க வேண்டியதான். ஏதோ வந்தாலும் டீலிங் தான். Now shall I talk about this evaluation critically? So how do you write critically evaluate? Is very simple, very simple. Again, definition. This is very key. Again, I will repeat, whatever you do, whichever subject, definition. Then the point is that critically evaluation. This is where for these questions is what you need data. Okay, data and substantiating points. Meaning is that here, if I give critically evaluate, you should not say transparency is, in Aadhaar transparency is there. I don't ask for Aadhaar's transparency. I'm asking you to evaluate. You tell me whether it is there. So you should say yes. The point is that whether Aadhaar can be Aadhaar RTA. Let us assume that RTA is transparent, critically evaluate. So you should say, look at the frivolous RTAs which are being filed. So that means you are evaluating and telling me, sir, it's not happening. Like that you have to fill. So critically evaluate with the data, you have to say. With the data, you have to tell the points. Here, okay, critically evaluate. Here you need not, go by the strict definition of, a positive and negative. Here you can talk about this, but last or way forward you can give. Any statement you can, either statement and the question in the in a sense, if you look at it, definition, then you substantiate meaning is that you tell about that statement with your evaluation, whether MNREGA is correct or not, something like that. If they ask you for evaluation, you tell them that, see, look at maybe 35 to 40% are women job card holders. The wage, rural wage is equivalent to MNREGA wage. So the wage in the rural area is improving, something like that. But you should not say wage is improving. The wage improving, women development, women empowerment, not those statements. You have to you have to tell me how. So agriculture is, so agriculture is, fertilizer use in India is bad or something, critically evaluate. You have to say, you have to talk about, for example, see, 4:2:1. This is the point, right? NPK. 4:2:1 is the ratio of NPK fertilizer which has to be applied, but it is now 8:1:1. This is evaluation. Misuse of fertilizers in India, that is not evaluation. Fertilizer use is over, that's not evaluation. You see, but Anna, you think about what and all data I am using. I am using the data which is there in NCERT. This is NCERT data. This is what is substantiating means. I cannot go. This is explaining. Okay, this is explaining. This is what is substantiating. I am explaining my points, but I am substantiating. Look at it. I am not just saying for critically evaluate. Definition positive negative. I am substantiating my view, right? I am giving my views and I am telling you how to do that. In your answer, you have to start making those on the points. And the point is that when you do that, that means you are actually analyzing them. So see, like this, you are analyzing, you are giving them data. So how to improve that? How do you improve that? You analyze, evaluate RTA Act. So how do you improve RTA Act? You analyze, evaluate, what is that, federalism or maybe cooperative federalism. Then you write a way forward. You get this idea here. That is why I have not given as positive and negative. Here, definition, then you start evaluating. And the point lo okay. Appadina you pirichikonga. Points positive, negative. Not see, while writing, you should not write positives and negatives. RTA Act positive, not like that. You write like you, according to the statement, RTA empowering, RTA not empowering, RTA positive, no, RTA negative, no, RTA empowering, RTA not empowering. So two views you are saying. You are in those two views, you have to evaluate. Other than point. See, writing past here, I have not spoke about data. Here, if you write, it's there or something like that, it's good. But if here, definitely evaluate. But what I have generally understood is that in every question, if you are able to, every answer I will write with evaluation now. I will not write a statement without evaluation. You get this idea? Every statement. Tanni. Okay. This AC idha irukka? Yeah, okay. The class wise. Okay. So next, shall I go? Next. Ah. Ah. Subject, ChatGPT, NCRT, newspaper. Ah. For this definition, if poverty, if I ask you, you can give poverty as definition based on the question. Women empowerment can happen only through population control can happen through women empowerment. We have written one question, critically evaluated, and they say na. So here we cannot give the definition of women or population. Get this? But Anna, you can, empowerment. Women and empowerment, you cannot give the definition, but you can give the definition of a population. So India is one of the largest in Ilama. I think first correct. So first we have, according to the UN population report, India is number 1 in terms of population, bypassing China by this year, and we have reached 1.4 billion people. So by way of increased birth rate and death rate, death rate gap. See, I am not talking empowerment in women. So what definition should be there is decided by the question. So now, next put up. Okay, explain is very, very simple. Explain. Basically, explain and all general you can write. See, explain if they say definition, features, any one question you tell me, explain which features, conclusion. Explain previous year question. Previous year question. Question. Because in general, here and all, see, and usually what they do is, when they ask critically evaluate, they will give a question for you to evaluate with the data. Here and all, they will give general question only. Another paaka solran. நான் சொன்னது நான் யூபி ஏங்க நான் கொடுத்தா என்ன யார் கொடுத்தா என்னங்க யூபிஎஸ்சி என்னங்க கேட்டா கரெக்டா explain the mechanism and see year 2022. So okay, can I take GS paper 1 la? GS paper 1 or 2 1 தானா cloud burst la? Uh, 2002 GS paper 1 na? GS paper 1. GS3 okay, sorry. Cloud burst disaster la ketirukanga. Okay, see, this is what I say by syllabus. If where it is, I will know. If they ask a question like this now, I will know. So in the newspaper, when it comes, I will immediately know it is GS paper 2 or 3 or 1 or see, like that you have to get prepared yourself. So where is that question? Okay. See, they themselves have given such the question. That is what I say. Critically evaluate means they will give a question like, with the data, how do you do? But here, if you see, explain the mechanism and occurrence of cloudburst in the context of Indian subcontinent. You will think, see, what is the definition we can have? Here we should talk about cloudburst. See, that is what I say. When you read a question, you have to understand. See, look at this way in this. Through a glass, you have to explain something. But what you are going to explain, I have to write it as a definition. This will be there in every question. Through a glass, point what glass I put on. Here I will give South India. So I will change the glass. Here I will give in the northern region of India. Change the glass. But this remains the same. The cloudburst. Cloudburst is my definition. Through this, what am I going to explain with this definition? So see, explain the simple features. Look at this. So explain means features. So here first I will write the mechanism. So first, sorry. Geography, you always have to, I have said this, right? Geography, always diagram. After the definition, always diagram. Here you talk about, Indian subcontinent means it includes all other regions. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, everything they include. So the point is that here you can talk about where the cloudbursts are happening. Where Himachal, okay. Actually, cloudburst happens here also. Chennai also kind of cloudburst. Sometimes it happens. So you mark those regions, and then the point is that you write the mechanism. So mechanism. So you write the mechanism, how this is happening, the features you are going to write. Then the point is that, then what you write? Conclusion. Okay, but here, way forward, this is what, this is why you also have to be kind of dynamic. Here you can write the way forward. You can say national, on the disaster management, what is that? National Disaster Response Force code. National Disaster Response Code. There is a code. Okay? For drought, there is a code. Earthquake, there is a code. So here, National Disaster Response Code for cloudburst. What they said, you get this idea? So what is the response that cloudburst has to have? I will start explaining. So 1, 2, 3, 4. End. You get this idea? But look at this. What am I evaluating? I'm not evaluating anything, or I am not saying anything, or positive, negative. Here, positive, negative, I'm not saying anything. Here, explain. That's it. I will explain what is this, then diagram. Then the point is that what is the mechanism of that. Here you can go for passage also, because I'm explaining. Okay, point wise also you can do, passage also you can do, but way forward when it comes, one thing, that is the point. Cloudburst you give. Cloudburst or earthquake you say. All these are disasters. When you say about some disaster, negative, you should not end with a negative. So way forward. You get this idea? So yeah, next polama. You understood this? So explain is kind of features now. Any other one more explain irka illa? So next is which is this? This is explain. Fourth than idu. Justify. Or they will say argue. Have you seen? Like this, argue. One statement they will say, and they will give us justification and argue. So what can be done for this? In the sense that any take again same type one question you take, but for this if they ask, see, in justification and argue, I don't know whether they are giving as one definition kind of thing. If there is a necessity for definition, you will write this definition or an introduction, okay, or an introduction, your definition or an introduction. Then the point is that then you come to first, see, argue or justify means I have to argue within myself. So first I will say, yes, sir, correct. Whatever you are saying is correct. Whatever you are saying is correct. The next point is that, sir, no, it's not correct. You may seem like a correct way of analyzing things, but no, there is a problem. Then way forward. Okay. So any see, most of the things will come that way only. Most of the difference will be how you say that. How you say most of the things. See, except for maybe that is the point. Elucidate, elaborate. Other things, if you look at it, most of the things. See, adanalda people will keep on saying that nothing. If a definition plus last time, if you are not able to find time for something, na plus minus conclusion. This is last minute thing. But Anna, that is why they have made this question more kind of analytical, abstract, because it is easy for you to do this. That is why they are giving it as a statement format. Statement format, Anna, if you look at it, will be nothing but same. ஏதாவது ஒரு question எடுங்க, இல்லனா next justify, is it okay? Justify is very simple. First, justify na, you have to think about justification. You have to see, one more thing is that in justification, here data, here you quote data, you quote case studies. You get this idea? Justification like yes na, I have to prove myself. No na, yes I have. Again, here also same. Why it is, see, you have to on the statement you have to justify. Any question if it is there, paranga ore nimsham paranga. Argue, justify. Okay, justify your answer is which year? 2020 ஈஸியான கேள்வி கொடுத்திருந்தா நல்லா இருக்குமே. GS1 தண்ணி மட்டும் எடுத்துட்டு உள்ள வச்சிட்டாங்க. GS1 2020 லாஸ்ட் இல்ல. Okay, this diversity in India. So diversity India va? Okay, is diversity and pluralism in India under the threat due to globalization. So what is the definition for this? Discuss pandroma. Okay, the globalization we have discussed. I'm saying how to write this question. See, this is the point. The CSAT la varum 10/30 something they will give, or the word that is there, இது வந்து dividend அப்படின்ற ஒரு கான்செப்ட்லாம் இருக்கு. I am not saying the exact thing, but what I am trying to say is that here diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization means globalization is the I. Think about it. Definition is globalization. See, there is no strict also. You can, I am saying, or better format. You can write pluralism and things like that. But you think about it, globalization, I will say what it is. Through that, I have to argue now. Now, so next point is that, okay. So what is diversity and pluralism in India? So what and all are there? One diagram, one flow chart. So these are the diversity which is there. We are having different cultures. We are having different religion. We are having different, what is that, geography. Adun diversity. History. We have different historical traditions which are there. Gandhara art is there. Mughal art is there. That is a diversity. All festivals, we have so many. Languages, we have so many. So like this, you can, like this, spoke model. So you write this and you apply your octopus madi you can have. You explain this. Then you argue. Now you have to start arguing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe it is in threat. So I'll talk about one thing. So diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization. That day we spoke about it. Language diversity we have, but is it there is a threat? Yes. Festival diversity we have. Now we are thinking about festivals as unique, one point, correct? But then the point is that then I will say no, sir, no. Diversity, we still have uniqueness. We still have people speaking different multiple languages. We still have people celebrating so many festivals. We still have all these things in India. So conclusion. So this is justify, la? Justify. Same I can replace this and say argue. Is diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization? Argue. Same question I can replace. Same answer. Correct? Here you can write case studies. Case studies, you can talk about data, language. So how languages have gone down. Many languages have, so for example, some case studies that, who is that? Tribal languages would have, disappeared due to globalization. Both or case study on the Bhojpuri, Magadhi, in Bihar. There are so many languages. Bhojpuri is Bihar, the language that Amir Khan speaks in PK. In that Bhojpuri, so many of my friends in my school used to speak Bhojpuri. And the Bhojpuri language slang will be like, it will be like a folk tradition. It will not be like Hindi. But my friends, once they started growing up, they started changing from Bhojpuri to Hindi. We have not lost in Tamil Nadu different. But Hindi, the problem was that Hindi, I think I've spoke about this. Many of the time I used to speak Hindi. Kitna bhi Hindi I am talking la. I will not be having that fluency. 12th, first standard I am reading. I think in anthropology it is there. With language, you create social status. In anthropology, there is a topic. In sociology also, it can be. With language, you create a status symbol. So, my friend, he studied in Bombay. He studied from a young age in Bombay. And he has a parent who is working as a Navy officer. He will be very fluent. Tamil da. He will be very fluent in Hindi. Na inga எங்க அம்மா அப்பாவுக்கு ஹிந்தினா என்னன்னே தெரியாது. படிக்கிறதுக்கே நான் கஷ்டப்பட்டேன். பட் ஆனா பேசுவேன். நவ் ஐ கேன் ஸ்பீக். இப்போ இவன் என் பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்டு தான் ஆகணும். ஓகேவா? இப்போ அமெரிக்கால இருக்கான். அவரு என்ன டே நீ தமிழ் தானே, நானும் தமிழ் தானே. இந்த பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, அவரு ஹிந்தி கேங் வந்துச்சுன்னா அங்க கூட சேர்ந்துப்பாரு. நான் அப்படியே பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பேன். டே இவ்வளவு நேரம் என் கூட தான் இருந்தேன் அப்படி. The thing is that we have this concept, we have this, so diversity. it's an argument. What I am trying to make is that we have a different diversity because it is necessity. Here, yes, no, you get this idea. But இது வந்து true story. நான் கேவில படிச்சேன்ல. See, I know, and that is why I don't believe in this stuff of ஏக் இந்தியா ஏக் லாங்குவேஜ்னா அவுட். அதெல்லாம் எனக்கு ஷியூரா தெரியும். ஏன் அப்படின்னா இப்போ அது தெரியும்ல உங்களுக்கு. I have to write in Hindi paper. அத சொல்லிருக்கேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Hindi paper I have to write it in mains. I would not be afraid of GS paper. Do you know that? GS paperல நீங்க எனக்கு எப்ப கொடுத்தாலும் நான் எழுதுவேன். The paper which used to give me nightmares was Hindi paper. Because if you don't clear that paper, your paper will not be evaluated. What kind of a condition? எனக்கு புரியவே இல்ல. டேய் எதுக்குடா evaluate பண்ண மாட்டீங்க? I have to write it Hindi. எனக்கு உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்ல, அப்படி இந்த இங்க வந்து ஹிந்தி, தமிழ்நாடு ஹிந்தி, ஓகேவா? They will split according to the அந்த டேக்கு மட்டும் they will split according to ஹிந்தி, மலையாளம். ஒரு நாள் இருக்கும் மெயின்ஸ்ல எழுதுவாங்க. சரியா? ஹிந்தியில யார் உட்கார்ந்திருப்பா? Hindi North India, people who are from North India who are writing in Chennai will, be sitting there. நான் உள்ள என்டர் ஆவேன். நீ நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் அப்படின்னா நான் ஹிந்தி எழுதுறேன்னு வந்திருக்கேன் போனா. பொறுமை உட்கார்றான், தள்ளி உட்கார்றான். See, the point is that literally it happened. It literally, and I am not saying அது வந்து I am not against, we should not read many. Language reading is very, very important. But what I am trying to say is that the way they are making it, it's not possible. See, if they ask me to write a PhD paper in Hindi, எங்க போறதுனா? Tamil I can write. Correct? Tamil I can publish. Let us assume that at one point 100 years down the line, சரியா? 100 years down the line, ek Bharat ek Hindi ho gaya nu வெச்சுப்போம். சரியா? How do I present a paper in PhD paper as equivalent as I do it? தண்ணி லைட்டா தண்ணி கொஞ்சம் குடிச்சிரு, ரொம்ப முடியலையோ? ஓகே, the point is that புரியுதாடா கிளாஸ்? ஓகே, the point is that as equivalent as in Tamil I cannot write in Hindi. இப்போ ஹிந்தி நான் படிச்சிருக்கேன். If you ask me to write other papers in Hindi, I will actually fail. If they want, புரியுதுல்ல? That is why this diversity is actually essential. It is the way through which you can actually empower so many categories of people. Otherwise, the empowerment will be stuck into one point. Whoever is fluent in Hindi will be, can get higher scores. அன்னைக்கு சொன்னல தமிழ்ல எழுதும் போது you get higher scores in, இங்க எழுதலாம் ஆப்ஷன்ல. The people don't understand the fact that each will have its pros and cons. But now come to this point. அது வந்து வேணாம், ரொம்ப பாலிடிக்ஸ் போக கூடாது. இல்ல see, both of the same தானே. diversity and pluralism. Diversity is the same as pluralism. You can same தானங்க. அவங்க கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க diversity and or pluralism கொடுத்தாங்களா? and தானே. Next, what is the next thing? Explain, justify, argue. So justify and argue. One more point is elucidate. Elucidate is there, right? Elucidate. Can you take one question? Elucidate. Elucidate or enumerate. Elucidate or enumerate, anyone? Elucidate or enumerate? Critically elucidate. See, if they add critically, one more angle they are adding. Which year? 2013. அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் இருக்குமா? சரி, அதுல இருக்குது. அப்ப நான் இது எழுதி இருக்கேன். ஆமா, 2013 நான் எழுதி இருப்பேன். பிங்க் ரெவல்யூஷனா? ஓகே. See, ஆமா, when I was writing this question, I was thinking about pink revolution. Meeta or வேற ஏதாவது சொல்றாங்களா? Meeta or something else they are saying. Honey-ஆ they are saying. உள்ள ஞாபகம் வரல. என்னவா இருக்கும்? ஆனா I wrote meat. Pink revolution meat தானே? பாருங்க. இருக்குமாங்க? இல்ல இங்க இருக்குமான்னு இங்க இருக்குமா? 2013 GS paper 3 கரெக்டா? பாத்தீங்களா? Which question? Which question? See, look at this. Critically discuss pros. They themselves will give pros and cons of the model, merits and demerits. See, question எல்லாமே அவங்க சிமிலரா தான் they will ask. Which questionங்க அது? எனக்கு அது தெரியலங்க. பாருங்களா, இந்த கொஸ்டின்லாம் கேட்டாங்க. இந்த கொஸ்டின்லாம் தெரியுதா பாருங்க. What do you understand by umpire decision review in cricket? 2013ல உட்கார்ந்துருக்கிற எழுதாம எப்படி விடுவோம்? ஆனா என்னன்னா இங்க பாருங்க, explain how silicon tape on the edge of a bat may fool the system. எதுங்க? இல்ல metaphor இல்ல, இது வந்து it was a question, direct question. At that time they had this concept. இப்ப the stickometerல எல்லாம் வந்து how do they, இப்ப stickometer இப்படி ஆகும்ல, so with the stickometer தான் அவுட் இல்ல. so what they are asking is, அப்ப பாருங்க how they என்ன எழுத சொல்றாங்கன்னு எனக்கு புரியல. இந்த சென்ஸ் வந்து which question தெரியலங்க. சரியா? I am not able to find that question. 6th though India needs அதுவா? See, it's basically you justifying this. Elucidate. See, India needs to strengthen measures to promote the pink revolution in food industry for better nutrition and health. Critically elucidate the statement is very, very, see, simple. Look at this. Elucidate means, so first is definition or introduction. Definition or introduction. Okay, definition or introduction. That is, India needs to strengthen the measure to promote pink revolution. What is pink revolution here? meat தான். That what is pink revolution you will define. எதுங்க? அந்த டைம்ல அதான் சொல்றேன், ஆப்ரஹாம் லிங்கனா, அப்துல் கலாமான். see, I wrote meat. some person would have written இது. அதுக்கு வந்து ஜஸ்டிஃபிகேஷன் எடுத்துட்டு வருவான். பாத்தியா இந்த ஆர்டிகல் இருக்கு. ஆனியனும் இருக்கு. ஆனியன்ல என்ன நியூட்ரிஷன் இருக்குன்றீங்களா? சல்ஃபர் வேணும்ல, சல்ஃபர் இருக்குல்ல. see, I can push through whichever way I want, but what I am trying to say is that pink revolution na meat தான், because at that time meat. but what, even if you have misunderstood the question and you start talking about, let us assume that pink revolution na வேற ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்க. ஆனியன் எப்படிங்க வரும்? பிங்க் கலர்ல இருக்கு ஆனியன். ரோஸா பிங்கா? ஐயோ, பிங்கா வேற என்னங்க இருக்குது? ராடிஷ். ஏங்க அதை வச்சு என்னங்க நான் ரெவல்யூஷன் கிரியேட் பண்றது? ராடிஷ் பாருங்க, இங்க கேட்டுக்கோங்க, இந்த எவிடன்ஸ் இங்க ஆப்போசிட்ல இருக்குது. வேற ஏதாவது பிங்க் கலர்ல இருக்கா? ஏங்க அது ரெட், பிங்க்ல சொல்லுங்க. இப்போ புரியுதா மெயின்ஸ் எப்படி எழுதணும்னு? see, writing mains is not points. கொஸ்டினை கொடுத்துட்டேன், சொல்லுங்க. chat gpt யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. whatever you use, poultry can be, see, we can say la, in the sense that, see, but the point is that inside the hall you have to make a judgment and you have to start thinking about, so what I decided was pink revolution was meat. Okay, so then you start writing meat. so here you say elucidate. look at this. so elucidate you have to start writing measures. All the point is that you have to start elucidate, enumerate. Elucidate, enumerate means yes, sir. 1, we can do this. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. தண்டால் மதி எடுத்துற வேண்டியதான் 10. ஓகேவா? But small change which I wanted you to do was, you can write elucidate, enumerate. Enumeration means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But here, according to the question, you have to change. What is the change that you make means, let us assume that I write 6 points, measures. These are the measures to promote pink revolution. But how I wanted you to do that is, split it between these two. See, here you split. Here I have split. Look at the question. I am going by 1 point. Here, 3 points for nutrition, 3 points for health. This is elucidation, enumeration, everything correct. But what they are doing is, instead of having a very small statement, they are giving you 2 things. If they are giving you 2 things, you have to enumerate within them. Okay, so one more point here. See, in this question they have added one more facet, is that how many marks is 6? Okay, 10 marks. Here they have added critically. If they say critically means there is an opposite view also. But here there is no pros and cons and all. Okay, here what do I write by pros and cons? Pink revolution வேணான்னு எழுதுறதா? Andamadi. See, here what you write is that, here what you go is that, see, look at this. If they say critically, definition in, see, intro, pink revolution, then your nutrition, health. But here what you talk about is problems. Critically means I am, see, I have to critically say also. Here, see, why, if you think about it, why I have not enumerated the problems is that this is a 10. See, these are all on the day judgment calls. When I am enumerating 6 points, 1 paper would have gone, or 1 maybe 1.25 would have gone. If I start to write the problems, the whole paper will end. I said with the problems you should not end. Correct? So what I would, I can do is that I can do these things. So 8 problems, I will mix it here. What are the problems in pink industry is that India or vegetarianism in India is, a culture. Okay. இதுதான் அன்னைக்கு எடுத்துட்டு வந்தாங்க. நான் எழுதிட்டு வந்துட்டேன். ஓகே, வந்துட்டு இதை பாருங்க அப்படின்னாங்க. பரவாயில்ல, இருக்கட்டும், வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஓகே. See, but for me, but pink revolution is in ஆனியன் பிரான் இருக்குங்க. பிங்க் ரெவல்யூஷன் யூ செக் இட், மீட் இருக்கு. மீட் வந்து ரெட் ரெவல்யூஷனா? சி, நான் ஒரு தடவை நான் வந்து மீட்டுக்கு தான். அதான் இப்ப பாத்தீங்களா? சி, நான் அதான் சொல்றேன்ல, மெயின்ஸ் ஆன்சர் வந்து, இப்ப சொல்லுங்க, மெயின்ஸ் ஆன்சர் வந்து எந்த நோட்ஸ் பார்த்து எழுதுறது? பிங்க் ரெவல்யூஷன் வந்து நான் வந்து அது என்னது, மன் கி பாத் கேட்பேங்க, அடிக்கடி கேட்பேன். ஓகேவா? மன் கி பாத் வந்து நான் எப்பவுமே கேட்பேன். இன் மன் கி பாத் he had said that pink revolution India has to export more அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு he has said that. ஓகேவா? In a sense, see, it's about the conviction that you have. Some person may think if a prawns and you can write that. எப்படி தெரியுமா? They will evaluate. If, see, you should not write absurd things. Let us assume that they ask for civil disobedience movement. You write about quit India movement. That is an absurd thing. They will strike it off. But some question like this comes. I write about meat, which I feel is correct. You write about prawns, which is correct also in a way. Because of the definition differences, it can happen. They will give marks for both. நான் சொல்றேன். நீங்க இது எழுதினீங்க, that is the wrong way to look at this examination. There is no key for this examination. Correct? நான் அதான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன். In that case, they will have an agreement, you know, they will have and say, oh, whether this is there. Whether you wrote meat or prawn or things in it, they will not see. Whether you justified. Here, I should not write milk. Pink revolution is increasing milk production. அப்படின்னா நான் போட்டு மொத்தத்தை அடிச்சு விட்டுருவேன். See, that is called as கொழுப்பு. கரெக்டா? இப்ப நான் மீட் எழுதுனேன்னா ஏதோ என் அறியாமையில எழுதிட்டேன். ஓகேவா? சின்ன பையன் மன்னிச்சு விடணும்ல. So they will do that. Like for shrimp. It's okay. But ஆனா நான் எழுதுனது மீட் தாங்க. ஆனா இந்த பேப்பர் 2013 தானங்க. See, I got the highest. இங்க இதுல வந்து highest score I got. இதுல geography. The first year they changed. This is the first year that they changed the syllabus, right? This is the year. So for example, geography ல தான். So நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் இந்த இது. என் மார்க்கை பார்த்துட்டு நான் சொன்னேன் 160 ஜியாகிரபி ஆப்ஷன்ல 160. என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் வந்துட்டு சரி செகண்ட் பேப்பர்ல எவ்வளோ மொத்தமே அவ்வளவுதான் வந்திருக்கு. பட் ஆனா ஐ வென்ட் டு இன்டர்வியூ ஃபார் திஸ் இது அண்ட் ஐ மிஸ்ட் இட் பை 10 மார்க் ஆர் சம்திங். இன்டர்வியூல ஐ காட் 130. இதுவும் அடி. ஆனாலும் ஐ மிஸ்ட் இட் பை 10 மார்க்கோ 15 மார்க்கோ. ஆல் த மார்க் இன் ஜிஎஸ். GS4 ஹை, GS2, GS3, GS1 high, SA high. You get this idea? I reached very close, but 130, அதான் 130 I got. 130, 131 நோ ஏதோ போட்டாங்க. அடி அதான் அந்த வடிவேல் எக்ஸாக்ட்லி லைக் வடிவேல் செட். ஒரு 6 நான் வெளியே வந்து அப்படிதான் சொன்னேன். பாலாஜி நின்னுட்டு இருந்தான். ஓகேவா? பாலாஜி வாஸ் the person, you know, he came la, he was standing outside. That year I think அந்த பொண்ணு பேர் என்ன தெரியுமா? Her name was some Bakshi or something. ஓகேவா? நான் யாருன்னு சொல்றேன் பாருங்களேன். சொல்லலாமா வேணாமான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. பட் ஆனா ஐ ஃபினிஷ்ட் மை இன்டர்வியூ. நானே அடி அதான் போன 6 பேர் இருந்தாங்க. கொஞ்சம் நெஞ்சமா அடிச்சாங்க. கொஞ்சமாவது கொஞ்சம் ஒரு பையன் வந்திருக்கிறேன், அவ்வளவு தூரத்துல இருந்து வந்திருக்கிறானே, கொஞ்சமாவது அவனை விடுவோம். சரியா? நானே டென்ஷன்ல வரேன். இப்போ வந்த போது யாருன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன். பட் ஆனா he is now an ஒரு மென்டார் ஆர் டீச்சர் சென்னை. ஓகேவா? அவர் வந்து அவர் ஃப்ரெண்டை கூப்பிட்டு வந்தாரு. அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட் வந்து அந்த பொண்ணு தான் பக்ஷி. அந்த பொண்ணு பேர் பக்ஷி. ஐ திங்க் she got 5th rank. She was like having a note like this. என்னென்ன கொஸ்டின் கேட்டாங்க? வாட் கொஸ்டின்? நான் சொன்னேன், அம்மா நானே அடி அடிச்சிருக்காங்க, என்ன நான் எங்கேயாவது போறேன், என்ன விடு அப்படி. அப்போதான் இவர் வந்தாரு. ஜி ஞாபகம் இருக்கா என்ன அப்படி? ஜி நான் தான் மென்டாரிங்க, நான் தான் பண்றேன். ஓகே, ஓ மென்டாரிங்கா, ஓகே ஓகே ஜி, ஓகே ஓகே ஜி, ஓகே ஜி அப்படின்ட்டு நான் சரி அதுக்கப்புறம் போயிட்டு டீ குடிச்சிட்டு வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணேன். See, that girl got 5th rank. Okay, 5th rank அந்த இயர்ல 5th rank. What I understood from that is that mentoring work ஆகாது. ஓகேவா? your dedication இருக்குல்ல. See, அந்த பொண்ணு, that girl had the book with her. She was noting. இப்போ பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, I was lethargic and lazy saying that answer தானே, we will go and write tell inside the interview hall. She was noting down. இப்படி உட்கார்ந்து இந்த கொஸ்டின் இவர் என்ன கேட்டாரு, ஓகே நான் அப்படியே பார்த்துட்டே இருந்தேன், யாரு இவங்க, எதுக்கு இப்படி ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றாங்கன்னா. ஆனா 5th rank she got. You get this idea? ஆனா மென்டாரிங் வந்து கடைசி வரைக்கும் மென்டாரிங் தான். கடைசி வரைக்கும் I don't think brains cleared. Now I think யார் இதே வேலையா பண்றேன்னா சரி ஓகே வாங்க வாங்க யாருன்னு நானா புரியல யாருன்னு. கண்டிப்பா புரிஞ்சிருக்காது. அது விட்டுறலாம். இது எடிட் பண்ணிடலாமா? ஓகே எடிட் பண்ணிடுவோம். ஓகே. ஆனா இதெல்லாம் உண்மை சம்பவங்களா? ஒன் மோர் உண்மை சம்பவம் சொல்றேன் பாருங்களேன். எதுங்க? இல்ல பேர் வராது. இது வந்து பிரச்சனை இல்லை, இது பிரச்சனையே கிடையாது. நானே தூக்கம் வரல. ஓகேவா? நானே வந்து தூக்கம் வராம நாளைக்கு எக்ஸாம், நாளைக்கு வந்து இன்டர்வியூ எக்ஸாம், தூக்கமே வரல. நானே உட்கார்ந்துருக்கேன். அவன் வந்து ஐ டு நாட் நோ வெதர் ஹி கிளியர் திஸ். continue இல்ல ஓகே in the sense that he finished his interview. He was like okay, ரஜினிகாந்த் சொன்ன மாதிரி லைட்டா டைட்டா போட்டாரு. போட்டு வந்து கதவை தட்டுறது, ஏய் கோவிந்தசாமி. என் ரூம்மேட் வந்து his name is at that time he's Chandrasekhar. He is now a collector in Kerala. அவருக்கு வந்து 2 days later தான் இன்டர்வியூ. நான் சொல்றேன், ஜி யாரோ தட்டுற மாதிரி இருக்கு, ஜி அப்படியே படிச்சிருங்க ஜி யாரோ தட்டுற மாதிரி இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நான் போய் திறந்துட்டேன். ஓகேவா, திறந்துட்டு அதான் அதேதான் கோவிந்தா சாமி அப்படி வந்து ஜி என் ரூம்மேட் என்ன மூடிட்டாரு, கதவை முட்டாரு, நான் இங்க படுத்துக்கிறேன். நம்பி விட்டேங்க. சரி சரி படுத்துக்கோங்க அப்படின்ட்டு நானும் சரி படுத்துட்டேன். ஜி கேக்குறாங்க, ஏதோ பேசிட்டே இருக்காரு அவரு. கேள்வி கேட்டாங்க, இது கேட்டாங்க, அது கேட்டாங்க. நைட் 2 மணி ஆயிடுச்சு. ஜி நாளைக்கு எனக்கு ஜி இன்டர்வியூ. ஜி நான் சொல்றது கேளுங்களேன், நான் சொல்றது கேளுங்களேன் ஜி, நான் சொல்றது நீங்க கேளுங்க ஜி. 2 பேரும் அவுட். ஆனா சந்திரசேகர் Chandrasekhar, see, his name is Chandrasekhar. He's an IAS now. Okay, he's an IAS now. He's in Kerala now. He actually, அதான் he was like, ஜி என்ன நடந்தாலும் சரி தூங்கிடணும், ஓகேவா, படுத்து தூங்கிடணும். ஓகேவா, ஸோ நவ் அதான் என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் வந்தாலும் சரி, ஸோ வே ஃபார்வர்ட். அதான் சொன்னேனே, உள்ளம் எதிர்பார்க்காமல் வெள்ளம் வரலாம். நீங்க என்ன பண்றதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. See, this kind of thing, see, you have to start facing. You have to, plan and plan accordingly. You go for interview. Interview, I think when interview comes, I would suggest don't, go for Tamil Nadu house la poningana. Usually, இதுவும் நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். Usually what happens is that if you are a IAS officer and IPS officer, you have friends with them, they'll give you a separate room. நான் போய் கேட்பேன், எனக்கு ஒரு செப்பரேட் ரூம் தம்பி, ஷேரிங் தான் தம்பி அப்படி. இன்னொரு somebody would come with single key, சிங்கிள் கீல வருவாரு. நான் கேட்பேன், ஜி எப்படி உங்களுக்கு ஷேரிங் இல்லையா? இல்ல எனக்குலாம் ஷேரிங் இல்ல. நான் எப்படி ஜி இல்ல அவங்க அப்பா ஐஏஎஸ். ஓகே ஓகே. See, the point is that if you know some IAS or something like that, get their help, get a room, be very very cautious that don't talk to anyone for 2 days. பேசுனீங்கன்னா சொல்லி முடிச்சிருவாங்க. ஓகேவா, ஏதாவது ஒண்ணு வரும். இப்போ ஐ திங்க் இதுவும் சொல்லிடலாம், பரவாயில்ல. அது வந்து இதெல்லாம் சொல்லலாம். உட்கார்ந்து படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தோம். ஓகேவா, see, he got an IAS. அதாவது வந்த பையன் he got an IAS. படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம், வந்துட்டு ஜி என்ன பண்றீங்க? பேப்பர் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு. சரி ஓகே அப்படின்னு நான் வந்து அப்படியே பயந்துகிட்டே இருக்கேன். ஏன்னா ஏதாவது சொல்லிட்டா அதை படிக்கணும். அப்படியே பயந்துட்டே இருக்கேன். ஜி நான் படிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்ட்டு விட்டேன். அப்புறம் he went out. Then he was like, ஜி அந்த யூனிவர்சல் இம்யூனைசேஷன் there is a scheme, what is a scheme? இருங்க, இந்திரா தனுஷ். that was introduced that time. நாளைக்கு எனக்கு இன்டர்வியூ. அந்த இந்திரா தனுஷ்ல 5 தெரியுது, 6 தெரியல, 6வது தெரியல. உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா? அதுல 5 இருக்காடா. சொல்லிட்டு அப்பெல்லாம் இந்த இது இல்ல, சாட் ஜிபிடி இல்ல, எதுவும் இல்ல. என்ன கூகுள்ல சர்ச் பண்ணலாம், லேப்டாப் ஓபன்ல இருக்கு. நான் வந்து 6வது இருக்கா ஜி, அந்த 6வது சொல்லுங்களேன்ற ஆளை காணோம். எங்கடான்னு பார்த்தா ஓகே தேங்க்யூ ஓகே என் ஒர்க் ஓவர் அப்படின்ட்டு one ரூம்ல they will have this. one ஒரு அந்த என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, அந்த சத்துர்வேதி அந்த ஒரு இது இருக்குமே, 3 idiots. 3 idiotsல they will make that. See, I'm not joking or I'm not making this up. பட் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணோம், அதான் சொல்றேன், பெஸ்ட் அவர்தான் சந்திரசேகர். now is an IAS. அவரு உலகமே இடிஞ்சு விழுந்தாலும் என் லேப்டாப் என் படிப்பு, அவ்வளவுதான். Okay, so you also think about preparing all this when you go to interview. நம்ம வாங்க நம்ம பேசிக்கலாம், சரியா? now you talk about next. என்னது முடிச்சிடலாமா? இது அவ்வளவுதானே. லாஸ்ட் டிஸ்கஸ் ஒண்ணு இருக்கா? சொல்லிட்டோம்ல கிட்டத்தட்ட we have spoken. டவுட்டா? Elucidate na points tha. Elucidate, now you tell about what and all steps the government has taken. Finished. நீங்க நிறைய எடிட் வேற பண்ணுங்க. ஐயோ என்ன பண்ற, எடிட் பண்ணி போடணும். இப்போ இதெல்லாம் எடுக்கணும்ல, இதெல்லாம் என்ன பேசுனதெல்லாம் எடுக்கணும். என்ன பண்றதுன்னு தெரியல. எடுத்துடலாமா? ஓகே. But anyways, then come to discuss. ஆனா நேம் எதுவும் சொல்லலன்னா, எதுவும் சொல்லல. என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் அவன் கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவானே. அது அந்த ரெண்டு ஃப்ரெண்டு பரவாயில்ல, அந்த ரெண்டு ஃப்ரெண்டு அது வந்து see they are very close and see and that why I keep saying that Balaji அப்படின்னா my first interview was on that day. See he was in Faridabad, you know that Faridabad, that is Delhi la metro goes like this, okay va? So and that is where the IRS training happens, Faridabad. So he actually came for me after finishing the training. Then I went to Faridabad. Okay, training in the interview mudichittu, then I went to Faridabad and I stayed Saturday because it was a Friday. Saturday Sunday I stayed there. Monday da for me medical. And the Saturday Sunday la I understood how they party and இதெல்லாம் போணுங்க. நீங்க சத்தியமா சொல்றேன், அந்த பார்ட்டி in the sense that எப்படி இது வந்து பரவாயில்ல இதுன்னு சொல்லணும். இதெல்லாம் என்னன்னா they had biryani. நான் போய் சண்டை போட்டுட்டு இருந்தேன், பீஸ் எங்க அவன் பையா சார் ஐ வில் கிவ் சார். பாலாஜி வாஸ் லைக் இல்ல கேள்ற பிரியாணி தானே. காலையில உட்கார்ந்து இருந்தோம், ஓகேவா, ரெண்டு நாள்ல காலையில அவங்க எந்திரிக்கிறாங்களோ இல்லையோ நான் எந்திரிச்சு நல்லா டீ காஃபி எல்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு அந்த இதுல லான்ல அப்படியே உட்காந்துருப்பேன். டெய்லி ஒருத்தர் வருவான், சார் குட் மார்னிங் சார் அப்படின்னு. ஓகே குட் மார்னிங் போயிட்டு சார் எங்க விச் ஸ்டேட் அதெல்லாம் வரும் சொல்றேன். The point is that is where I started the first time interview and I started looking at if you look at all the people angala pesumbodhu dhan, then I understood that see it's not that you do, let us assume that you think that you have to do 100%, 70-60% if you do 60%, many of them would not have completed the portion. Let us see one example was sociology. They said they had skipped some topics or something like that. Cleared. You get this idea. So what we are thinking is that we have to complete this whole portion and how to do that and stuff like that. Don't worry too much about that. Keep on adding 70%, 60% if you do. I think you will clear whatever we have spoke in this 70%. If you are able to do, I think top score la vandrum. Seriya? One more thing enadhu? Discuss. Okay, discuss is kind of so again definition, see elucidate also, see enumerate, correct, enumerate and elucidate points. Okay, points should be there. Discussion on the multiple perspectives. It's kind of a discussion that you do. You say this is how it is. Any one question you please take, I'll explain that. Multiple perspectives. இது 15 ஆனா எல்லாமே எழுதுனாங்க, அதெல்லாம் வந்து எழுதிருக்காங்க. சரி, எனக்கு எல்லாம் பிளாஷ்பேக் போகுது, அதனாலதான் திருப்பி இப்ப இன்டர்வியூ போயிட்டேன். 2015ல GS 1 தானே, 1 or 2? ஓகே 2. ஓகே முடிச்சிட்டாச்சு. Okay, discuss the possible factors that inhibit India from enacting for its citizen a uniform civil code provided for in the DPSP. So if you look at it, it's basically first definition of uniform civil code which is there in DPSP. See, look at that. As I said, like the divider. So this is the dividing factor. Sorry, that is the numerator, denominator. This is the denominator that you have. So you write this. Then what is that which I have given? Look at this. So look at their question. So multiple things will be there. Not one UCC implementation, there will not be one thing. So multiple things will be there. So you talk about all those things. Multiple things. Okay. And last is way forward. Okay. In this way forward, look at this. UCC way forward, I will talk and I will say that for UCC way forward, what can I give? How do you implement stuff like that, something like that, right? So how do you have to have that? So can I say for law commission? UCC implementation. So these are the factors which are preventing. But way forward is how to implement. So law commission says, but you should not think whether I should read next law commission padikanuma. No. This is where I said in the first beginning. You get this right? So in the newspaper, law commission UCC points will be there. So you take down those. This is what you add from the paper. You add that, you write key points. 5 points are there. This is what, and mind you, you cannot get better points from anywhere else other than newspaper. You will get only stale points. Stale points now, points which are there everywhere. You get this idea? What you have to do is you can take from mains, newspaper da. Get this idea? So shall we, is it okay? So do you agree? Okay. Do you agree is kind of justification? Or to what extent? Okay. Do you agree? Do you agree on the argue da? Do you agree is argue? Is there any question? Do you agree? That is why I on the incident. We'll talk about this. So, what do you write for this? To what extent? Okay, wow. So, any question is there, or shall I say simply? I think we have come to the end of the list of, most. I think everything we have. Where keywords? Is there anything? See, these are the keywords. But don't concentrate on them too much. This is for your understanding. Okay, wow. Generally, what people do is write something and write the features. The meaning of all these things will give you a perspective to write an answer. For everything, don't write features. DPSP features, there is no question. Group 1 it is different. Group 1 you write only definition feature. Ellame feature da. Lakshmi Kandoda cut copy paste panni, you should paste it DPSP chapter paste pannino. Sir, avanga UCC factors da adlan kepanga pa. Nee eldu DPSP eldu pa. You get this point? Now you think about this. Any question is there? 2020. Okay. நல்ல क्वेश्चन சொல்லுங்க. நல்ல வேண்டிக்கிறேன் நான். கடவுளே, நல்ல क्वेश्चन சொல்லுங்க. 2020. Yes. Which one? Do you agree that see, it's kind of an argue தான். இங்க பாருங்க. Okay. So here you talk about, see, it's kind of an argue both sides. Here, so can I say, look at this definition? Definition. And I will give you a, see, I'll give you a hint. Usually you write the definition which is there in the syllabus. If a question they are asked, let us see, this is a hint. See, this is not a rule. It's a thumb rule. Thumb rule means hint. If they are giving, how do I find immediately? Na, in this word, in this, what is there in the syllabus? In these words, that is the thumb rule. Tradition and culture, how is it affected by globalization? Which is there in the syllabus? Globalization. Whatever, see, hint, this is a hint. If they are asking a question, what they are expecting as an I is the syllabus. See, this is a hint. This is not a rule. Thumb rule. This is a thumb rule. Thumb rule means something which I can make, you know, immediately if I have to find out. So which is there in the syllabus? This is there in the syllabus. Argue. See, basically, but do you agree if they say, do you agree that regionalism? Okay, do you agree? Yes, sir. Yes, I agree. Okay, yes. Kind of like argue only. Yes, I do agree. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how language, you know, language, cultural assertiveness brings in regionalism. How ethnic assertion brings in regionalism. How, where any other thing? So a culture of a particular region, let us say, maybe, so Telanga, that is an economic reason, but on a cultural assertiveness, let us say historical reason. Historically, this was there in the Nawab kingdom, something like that. So they assert their things, and hence regionalism. So yes, sir, yes, sir. Then the point is that no. No, it is not true always that regionalism is because of all these cultural assertion. Rather, it can be because of many other factors like, you know, economics. Like Marathwada region. Marathwada region is a region in the northwest of Maharashtra where there is huge poverty, but there is huge. Maharashtra is the #1 GDP in the country. So you have this whole state which is having a higher GDP, but this region is having a lower GDP when you compare it to this. So you will have regionalism. Okay, economics and many other factors. Same. Argue yes and no. Yes and no. When you say no, and the point is that steps to prevent. See, you should be kind of a dynamic person. Here, I am not using the word way forward. Actually, way forward. Steps to prevent regionalism. But I am not using way forward. If you see, I am in each question, you should not be like, you know, that is what I am saying. Don't be submissive. Don't be this kind of a person that, okay, this is how it is done. Be a kind of a person, take the framework, build your answer. Now, for this, steps to be taken is what is looking good. Here, way forward will not look good. Steps to be taken to prevent regionalism. You get this idea? So that you can write. Any points you can write. Okay, shall we? Is it okay? Any other? Nehru's glimpses of world history. My teacher. See, that is where, see, that is what, one more teacher was Nehru. In Nehru, I'll end with this. Okay, I'll end with this. So I think we have spoke about this. Nehru's, I could not say it in interview, but yeah. And today being a teacher's day, see, he is also one of my very fondest teachers. And I don't think I can erase that just because of politics of today. Yeah, he has been, you know, on the way he wrote that book. It's a 1000-page book. You know what that book is? Okay, இப்படி பார்த்தது இவ்வளவு பெரிய book. I have it in my home. Glimpses of world history. Those are letters that he wrote to Indira Gandhi. Okay, those are letters that she collected. She was 14 years old. Okay, again, alienation. See, that is where it all started. He was in jail for 9 years. First letter he writes like this. He is a human. So, dear Priyadarshini, you know that Indira Gandhi's name is Priyadarshini. Dear Priyadarshini, sitting at this jail, I feel that the sun is coming, moon is coming, sun is coming, moon is coming. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. Maybe I should do something. So instead of writing, just letters to you, we will talk about world history. You get this idea? So sitting here with the building, you be prime minister or prime minister. See, at that time he was a very big leader. But what you do as a person which inspires you, I have to do something, so it is a world history. He started doing this for so many years, and that became what is called as glimpses of world history. And people keep saying that he was in that is politics. But you know what? 1200 pages book. He wrote it from jail. Obviously, he wrote it from memory. Maybe you would have gotten some reference book. Okay. I don't think I have read any better book for world history than that book. I have written, I see, there is a, again, like anthropology, I have separate shelf for world history books. Yeah, including Fukuyama. Including Professor Fukuyama's book, which is also a part of world history, which talks about political world history. Even that did not give me the clarity that that book gave. He is explaining to a 14-year-old world history. So yeah, he's explaining about social stratification, communism, socialism. There he explains why India adopted socialism. See, he was a big landlord. He should have gone for capitalism, right? Why India needs socialism, he writes in that. You get this point? That is the amount of, Desh Bhakti that he had on India. And I learned so many things from that. And I also learned this fact that, in a sense, for civil services, I also learned this fact that for civil services, what is the most essential trait I keep saying is reading. But Anna, I keep saying this fact that don't go behind points or don't go behind what is notes. Confine yourself. Why and that day we discussed Hayes or 10 minutes முடிச்சிடலாமா 10 minutes தெளிவா இருக்கீங்களா? இந்த ஒரு படத்துல சோடா ஊத்தி ஊத்தி அடி, எதுக்குடா இப்ப சோடா, இது அவ்வை சண்முகி, எதுக்குடா இப்ப எனக்கு சோடா ஊத்துன, மயக்கமா இருக்கும்போது தெரியாது, வலி தெரியாது இல்ல, அந்த மாதிரி தண்ணி குடிச்சுக்க கொஞ்சம் 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 மயக்கம் தெளிஞ்சு I also understood that fact that his book also says one more important thing. Whatever you read, whether you are able to explain that to a 14-year-old or a 10-year-old, 10 to 14-year-old, if you are able to see, 5 years you cannot explain. You get this idea? For them, you have to, give all these things. But explanation, you can start from a particular age only. Civil services, what is the difference between rain, sleet, haze, mist, fog? I don't need any material. You explain it to a 14-year-old or a 10 to 14-year-old. If you have, cousins, niece, someone, how do you study now? You study something. If possible, you explain to them. Mudinja na solra. Mudinja, world history la you would have read chapter. Or you would have read what is that, the regionalism. Let us assume you have read regionalism. Na solran, the way to clearing this examination is, if you are able to explain to that person regionalism, globalization, அவங்களுக்கு புரியணும். அவங்க வந்து இது என்ன சொல்றப்போ அப்படின்னு போக கூடாது. ஓகேவா? ஏண்டா விளையாடுற நேரத்துல டென்ஷன் பண்ற நீ. They should not say that. They should be interested. அப்படியா? அப்ப நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன? If you are able to say that, world history, geography, whichever thing. So anthropology எல்லாம் நான் இப்படிதான் பண்ணேன். சரியா? ஆந்த்ரோபாலஜி என்ன பண்ணேன்னா மிரர்ல பேசிட்டேன். சாரி, நான் வந்து என் கசின் ஒரு நீஸ் எனக்கு இல்லை. பட் ஆனா என் ஃப்ரெண்டு குழந்தைங்கலாம் இருக்கும் தெரியுமா, ஃப்ரெண்டு குழந்தைங்க எப்பெல்லாம் என் ஃப்ரெண்டு குழந்தைங்களை பாக்குறனோ ஏதாவது ஒன்று ஆரம்பிக்கும். வேர்ல்ட் ஹிஸ்டரி, தம்பி அலெக்சாண்டர் யார் தெரியுமா, அவங்க இட்ஸ் லைக் யூனோ ஆர் கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், யூனோ that is the way to learn this exam. That also I understood from that book. Can you explain world history? For communism, let us assume communism, a concept like, you know, alienation, can you explain it to a 14-year-old? முடியுமான்றதுதான். If you can explain that, then that means you have read that topic. Anthropology la homo erectus nu ஒரு டாபிக் இருக்கு, neanderthals nu there is a topic. இத வந்து you explain it to that kid. If you are able to do that, that is where you stop. படிச்சிட்டேன், ஓகேவா? Not when you have, you know, copied a particular notes and you have, you know, test batch எழுதிட்டேன். see எனக்கு புரியவே இல்லைங்க, டெஸ்ட் பேட்ச் எதுக்கு? ஐயோ வேணாம், திருப்பி டெஸ்ட் பேட்ச் இருக்கு, நல்லதுதான். But the point is that whether you can explain that question, regionalism. So I will end with this or biggest myth, because today is Teachers Day. Because many of the topper strategy it will be there. Because I wanted to talk about that, and but we have discussed so many other facets. But I'll end with this, because as a teacher it is my responsibility to இப்போ இந்த பைபிள் படிச்சீங்கனாலும் சரி, குரான் படிச்சீங்கனாலும் சரி, or Bhagavad Gita, the most important trait of a teacher is to give them the correct direction. Jesus Christ வந்து he was not a அதுல பைபிள்ல படிச்சீங்கன்னா he was a shepherd அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? shepherd is grouping all the people together and giving them a direction. எங்க போனாலும் யாம் இருக்க பயமேன், God is there, don't worry. That is the reason why they give the correct path. You will have a different path, the correct path. So the work of a teacher is that. So today being a Teachers Day, I feel, see, you can watch Topper's talk, I don't mind that. But what they say as strategy, don't try to replicate. Because I'll tell you two things. Here are two things I'll tell you. You know, there are two things in science, and two things are there. One is called as correlation. One is called as causation. Psychologically, we are, you know, whatever thing that happens in the social world, we see it through these two things. Okay, whatever you take, whatever thing we have, we will look at with correlation or causation. For example, like the incident which I narrated, my senior's incident, we actually now think about, இல்ல அவர் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு ஹெல்த் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டு போயிருக்காரு, so something like that. But whether it is the real reason, no. It's called as correlation. It's called as correlation. A cat walks through, then you go and you hit yourself somewhere. Because of the cat only, I you know, I had this problem. That is correlation. Horoscope. காலையில என்ன பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, யாரெல்லாம் ஹாரோஸ்கோப் பார்த்தீங்க கண்டிப்பா உண்மையை சொல்லிருங்க. நான் பார்த்தேன். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம நாள் என்னவா விளங்க போகுதுன்னு பார்த்தேன். நீ பார்க்கலையா? See, but ஆனா horoscope people see, right? Horoscope is kind of correlation. You see something, something happens, so you correlate. சரியா? Why I am talking about this now? But the real cause we don't look at. Toppers talkல பிரச்சனை என்னன்னா, toppers are talking correlation. They are not talking their causation to clear. நான் சொல்றது புரியுதா? அப்போ அன்னைக்கு he was saying about, you know, அந்த topper வந்து, see, I did not read newspaper ன்னு when they say, they are talking correlation. Because let us assume அதான் 5th attempt, 4th attempt, see, you don't have to read newspaper. See, I don't have to read. No, இப்போ நான் வந்து இப்போ 10 நாள் இருக்கா, see, I can go write mains. Does that mean that I never read newspaper? I built this whole thing with the newspaper. Ana, can I come and say that I did? Say, இப்போ நான் இவ்வளவு நாள் படிக்கல, சரியா, பாஸ் ஆயிட்டேன்னா, ஜி 10 days தான் ஜி, அப்படியே லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட்ல எழுதுனேன் ஜி. That's correlation. You get this idea? what you are looking at as strategy is like horoscope, is like a பூனை crossing. பூனை அது பாட்டுல கிராஸ், அது பாட்டுல அது வேலைக்கு போகுது, சரி பூனைக்கு பதிலா பாம்பு வச்சுக்கலாம், ஓகேவா? அப்படின்னா திரும்பி ஓடிடுவோம்ல. ஏன் பூனை அது பாவம், அது பாட்டுல பாவமா போகுது, கரெக்டா? See, the point what you should think from now onwards is that in the correlation, don't see that. Newspaper, don't read. I did not read newspaper. Second, one more thing is there. இது எங்கெல்லாம் where and all it will apply na, maybe 4-5 attempts if they have, but I can say that. சரியா? Second, if they have trained for group 1, they can do this. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க, கரெக்டா? group 1 if you go, they are trained to, you know, robots madi DPSPA, they can write from top A to Z, they can write. They can go without reading newspaper. It does not apply to all. You get this idea? What you are looking at is a correlation. I did this, I did this. But causation is complete analysis. Whether you are able to understand and tell the concept to your niece or nephew, whether you can, you know, educate one child with your knowledge. If you can do that, keep on doing that, keep on doing that, you will clear. சரியா? இது நான் எதுக்கு சொல்லணும்னா, அது சும்மா see, because many of the இந்த டவுட் எல்லாருமே கேட்டாங்க, அவங்க அப்படி சொன்னாங்க, இவங்க அப்படி சொன்னாங்க. But if you see, I have seen on that girl, அததான் திருப்பி சொன்னேன், அந்த பக்ஷி, அந்த girl I have seen her with my own eyes. I saw her notes. அந்த பொண்ணு இன்டர்வியூல what and all question they asked, எதுக்கு நோட் பண்ணிட்டு போறாங்க? to prepare. அவங்க வந்து நான் இப்ப அவங்க ஆனா அவங்க சொல்லலாம்ல, இப்ப பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, ஜி நான் போய் இன்டர்வியூல she got 190. She can say, right, what she will she include this in her talk? நீங்க யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. Will she, for example, how she prepared, let us assume that she is talking, will she include the incident that we had outside the UPSC hall? Whether I took all these questions, I prepared these questions, she will not say. உங்களுக்கு புரியுதா? So இது வந்து கொஞ்சம் விட்டுருங்க. You think about the causation. The causation is what we have discussed. Newspaper Yojana is the causation. Keep on preparing. Last class we will have Thursday. Okay, Thursday is ஒரு அதாவது சும்மா class. We'll come, we'll cut a cake and you know something we'll cut, then we'll close. எனக்கு இந்த ரிவ்யூ வேணுங்க. see, I want you to write, because இது வந்து ஃபீட்பேக்காக வச்சது. ஒருத்தர் கூட எழுத மாட்டாங்க, மனசே கேட்கல. நீங்க அனானிமஸா கூட எழுதுங்க. ஓ ஆமால, நான் என்ன பண்றேன், ஒளிஞ்சுக்கிறேன் உள்ள. see, ஓ அனானிமஸா இல்ல, கரெக்ட் இல்ல, இது ஒரு நல்ல பாயிண்ட். பட் ஆனா you know I kind of, you know, want this review so that I can, இப்போ ஒரு ஏதாவது டக்குன்னு உங்க இது சொல்லிடுறீங்களா? அதாவது ரிவ்யூல ப்ரிலிம்ஸ்க்கு what do you want me to do, அததான் நம்ம பேசலாம்னு இருந்தோம். ப்ரிலிம்ஸ்க்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்றது மட்டும் சொல்றீங்களா? அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிடும். I think இது வந்து we'll close. சரியா? we'll close this.